the 2nd Armored Brigade combat team area.
The Army reported no casualties, and the situation was quickly contained.
A devastating cloudburst struck Uttarkashi, India, triggering flash floods that claimed at least 4 lives. Dozens remain missing as rescue operations continue in the affected areas.
Heavy rainfall caused the Kir-Ganga River to overflow.
Hong Kong recorded its highest daily rainfall for August since 1884, with 355.7 millimeters of rain. The deluge caused widespread flooding and disrupted transportation across the city.
The Hong Kong Observatory issued warnings as the storm overwhelmed drainage systems.
Japan marked the 80th anniversary of the U.S. atomic bombing of Hiroshima with a memorial service. The dwindling number of survivors, now averaging over 86 years old, called for peace.
The opinions expressed on this program are those of the host or guest and should not be interpreted.
That's the first time I heard Al get cut off in the middle of his own
fact checking and corrections are encouraged.
Can we get a cup of coffee in here, please?
Oh, Al. Anything fucking. That's me. Anything fucking.
Damn good coffee. And hot.
There are buttons to push and people to push.
My dog is your mind's best friend.
I don't know about that.
My dog is your mind's best friend.
Oh, yeah.
Wake up, America. You've got a dog that
Wake
needs
up,
walking.
And,
That's right, sunshine. Just put on a big pot of strong coffee and get ready to type your little hate mail with your opinions about kumbaya and flat earth insanity. Stand-up comedy? You want stand-up comedy? Well, we've got sit-down comedy. It's time for Coffee with the Dog. You make me laugh.
Okay. I'll try my best to make you laugh. Man, you're looking a little ill, man. Look at that. You got your tongue go, Dying. That's a good morning. As we mentioned, America, it's time to wake up. Canada, hit the snooze button. Mexico, you got a few months. You could just sleep until October or something. Good morning. It's a Thursday, August 7th. Is it August 7th, 2025? I believe it is. It's a wonderful day to be alive, as every day is a wonderful day to be alive. Listen, you do it. You do you. Okay, I'll do me. Instagram yesterday launched a new service that you can really, it's maps. You can find out exactly where somebody is if they're live on there right now, and they don't have that function turned off. I think there's a whole lot of cheaters going to get caught cheating. That's what I think. Why? Who asked for that? I'm thinking wives asked for that. Like, where is he? Who's he fucking around with? Right? Who else would ask for something like that? I'm transparent, though. I have not turned it off. You can find me in this chat. Instagram will do all the GPS, whatever it does, satellite assassination coordinates, whatever, and say he's still in that fucking chair. He hasn't moved from that fucking chair. How many times can I say that fucking chair before YouTube says, you said fuck too many times in the first minute or so. You're not supposed to do that. We're not going to show your content to anybody like that. Makes it today any different than any other day. Today is going to be all about kumbaya, right? No, we don't have a guest. But I think Stevie was a little upset that I said yesterday that I stopped following him because of his kumbaya. And listen, Stevie, He's got to do what he's got his own life to live. And if that's what it takes to make him happy, I support him doing whatever it takes to make him happy. If he wants to post kumbaya all over his social media, that's what he needs to do to make himself happy. Do it. By all means, make yourself happy. But it doesn't make me happy, so I don't have to listen to it. So I mute it. It's just as simple as that. And there's no reason I should be forced to listen to that. Now, you may not know this. I don't know if you know this about me. Of course you don't know this about me because I've never even told this before. Anywhere, really. There was a time, I say 1990 to 1992, where I was so deep in the self-help world, the motivation speaker world, the NLP world, that my entire house, all the interior walls, were covered with affirmations and kumbaya. Yes, me, even me. I was sucked into the world of kumbaya. But I discovered, and this is just for me, again, this is my personal take on kumbaya. There are two types of people who do practice the kumbaya. And I don't want to be either one of them. The two types of people that, in my experience, practice kumbaya. Kumbaya. You got your Tony Robbins, Gary Mashuk, your Dwayne Dyer. Well, he's dead. Norman Vincent Peale, he's dead. But these con man grifters, book salesmen, course salesmen, paid $9,000 for my empowerment course. Those type of people. The motivational people who are a bunch of phony bullshit artists, by the way. Tony Robbins is not, he puts on this thing, I'm going to teach you about your relationship. And then he finds out, a relationship is falling apart. He's fucking molesting people, whatever. So you could, that's the one type of kumbaya, public kumbaya singer. And then you have the other type, which is, I don't know if you want, I got a big dick and women just, Willie is a kumbaya speaker. And Mike Zinn is a kumbaya singer. And none of it is anything that I want to be. If that's what you want to be, I'm not stopping you. I say, if that will make you happy, be that. But don't expect, especially if I care anything about you, I don't want to see you going down that road. Kumbaya, Lord. Kumbaya. So, and that leads me to the New York Mets. Yeah, you wonder, like, what the hell kind of kumbaya, pendulums, and the New York Mets? Well, it doesn't say New York, but it's the Mets in the title there. The New York Mets suck. And you could say that the New York Mets don't suck all day long and make it, let's go, baby. We're going to the World Series. Yeah. You can kid yourself with that because they start out like every morning, every April is morning in baseball. And they start out with the let's go attitude, let's light the world up, win for the World Series. And they win in April. They do good. But if you follow the New York Mets, since May, they have the fourth worst record in baseball. Their offense sucks. And so what happens, they got all the fans and the management all buying into this. Yeah, we're doing so good because they won a nice amount of games in April. And they're almost still tied for first. I think they're maybe a half game out. I don't know. I don't follow the standings that well. But they're still up there. But their offense is since in the last 6 or 7 weeks has been the worst in baseball, the worst in baseball. And so what happens at the trade deadline, and this is including the $750 million they spent to upgrade their offense over the winter. They at the trading deadline, they just moved for pitchers. While the offense is sucking. Now, yesterday, or the day before, I don't know, I'm losing track of days. They almost got no hit by the Cleveland Guardians. That's even tough to say. I'm sorry. The Cleveland Guardians had them without a hit through 9 innings when the guy they spent $750 million on it got a hit. Not enough to win the game, but it's the home run. Yay. But that's what Kumbaya will get you. New York Mets. You will become a New York Mets fan, and you'll be saying, yeah, we got it. We're going to win, man. Let's go. And then what happened? Disappointment again. And people wonder why I always say the Mets suck. Why are you a Mets basher? I'm 62 years of watching the New York Mets. The last time they won a World Series was 39 years ago. And I will venture to say it might be another 39 years more before they ever win one again, because they're stuck in this world of kumbaya. Kumbaya, baby. Now, here's where the metaphysical and the philosophical come together in my dopey little brain. I'm thinking about all that is and all that could go wrong and all that could go right. And we are in a time where the whole world feels like it's arguing about one thing or another every day. Jim Norton posted a thing yesterday about a phony article. No, I don't care if it's phony or not, but somebody saying it was in a phony article about him and his wife. He's married to a trans person. And it quoted him as saying, "My wife has a dick or penis, and I suck it every day. Am I still straight?" And he posted that saying, "I encourage everybody to believe this is an accurate and true article." And I basically said, I would like to mind my own business. Not because I'm a bleeding heart liberal, not because of any other reason than I'm a raging homophobe and just a sex phobe. I don't I don't really care what consenting adults do in their own in the privacy, even not in the private, as long as I don't see it. It's private to me. I don't care. So if Jim Norton wants to suck his wife's dick and tell himself he's straight, God bless him. Suck away. Suck away. Suck away. Suck away. Anyway, what I'm getting at here is the world is like fighting, left, right, up, down, north, south. We're all just fighting. And I think of the analogy about pendulum. And this might be a stretch here philosophically, but a pendulum seeks peace in the center, but it doesn't. The only way to allow that to happen, member of the Suckaway tribe, that is the real G.D. Fenderson. And I'll get to why I say the real G.D. Fenderson in a moment. But where was I going? Oh, pendulum seeks peace and calm in the center. But the only way to achieve that is to not do anything. Because the minute you even touch it to go in one direction, it's inclined, it's propelled to go in the opposite direction as a kickback with the same amount of force. So whatever force you apply to it, it's going to come back with the same force in the opposite direction. The only way to achieve peace is to do nothing. But that requires patience, because if you do nothing and the people who have or who are applying force just keep applying force, they're just going to keep pushing it one side, and there's nothing you can do about it. So I don't have the patience to do nothing, which is why I'm gabbing and just rattling off like a fucking old man yelling at a cloud every day. And I need to shut up. I need to go away and do nothing. But, I don't have the patience for that. So I will wait a day, and then I'll come back and say, it didn't work. I would make it work. You can make it work by just getting a little patience. But that's a lesson I'm not going to learn anytime soon. And I can guarantee that. And that might be a self-fulfilling manifestation of truth, that I'm not going to become a patient person. but it's based in reality, and that's all I care about is reality, because I'm almost out of weed again, to be fair.
Mind Bloom is helping people achieve life-changing clinical and personal breakthroughs, alchemizing both the psychedelic medication, psychiatric care from psychiatric clinicians, coaches we call psychedelic guides, and a lot of content and meditations and programs into this really transformational experience that, because it's delivered at home, costs a lot less and is a lot more convenient for people to receive.
About Hungwoods. Good morning. In the room with me now is the real, I say the real GD Fenderson. Good morning, GD.
Good morning, America. MindDogTV.com.
Oh, nice.
Do you live in a world where you think people give a shit about the Mets? To quote one of the apostles, are you high right now? Brought to you by Puspatuck's 2-for-1 Saturday. Enjoy the suffering and support your local mercenaries.
The thing is, can I make it to Saturday? Because I would like to, in a perfect world, I would go to Puspatuck on Saturday and get my 2-for-1 and insist that they don't just tell me about the 2-for-1 and leave one on the counter and put one in the bag like they did last week or 2 weeks ago, whatever. But I actually get my 2-for-1. But I don't know if I'm going to make it. You want to see what I'm left with here? And I think the girl ripped me off the other day. This is what I'm. You see that?
Wow.
Yeah, I know.
That may not even make it to the rest of the show.
I very rarely smoke on the show because I'm in the house.
Very rarely. Oh, that's because you're okay.
My wife would shoot me if I smoked in the house, or if she knew that I smoked in the house. Let's put it that way.
I have a couple of questions based on last night's activities. One was a lack of activity. I thought Wednesday night you were going to do the thing, and I went to check in on you, and there was no thing. Instead, It said upcoming for Thursday in 24 hours, and I went, there was no thing. What happened to the thing?
The thing.
And I didn't call you because I didn't want you to explain to me last night, and then have us not have anything to talk about for 2 hours this morning.
We have plenty to talk about here. Well, here's what happened with the thing.
What happened was, okay.
This is Kevin Mazur. Every story Kevin Mazur starts. You don't know Kevin Mazur. He's a photographer for Rolling Stone and rock and roll photographer. But every story starts with what happened was. Like what happened was. That's an interesting way to start every story. So what happened was, around 6:30, I started prepping for the show, and then I came in here, and this thing said, software update available, Mac operating system. I'm like, an hour and a half. Do I gamble? Because it feels like it probably would go faster than that. It usually takes about an hour and full. I gambled and I hit okay. And then, at like 20 minutes to 8 o'clock, I'm like, oh shit, it's not going to be done. It's still rebooting for the 19th time. So I wrote to Selvin and I said, I'm sorry, I'm having technical problems. I didn't tell him what they were, but I said, can you do it tomorrow night, same time? He said, yes. So I just.
Oh, okay. I was wondering, if he called you or you called him. And I'm thinking, so if he called Matt saying, can I schedule this for Thursday? Matt would say, you fucking kidding me? Yeah. But if Matt called him and said, could you do it for Thursday? Then he'd have to be. So I was curious. Good morning, Mr. Koff. Good morning, Mr. Koff.
Just to be fair to me, there have been 1 or 2 times when somebody has said, I'm having trouble. Wednesday night, can we reschedule? Can we do it Thursday the same week?
Okay, you said 1 or 2 times. You've done this 700 shows?
Oh no, that one saw 2,300 shows.
Okay, 2,300 shows, and once or twice you let them move in a day.
Yeah,
but that's not even a Mets batting average.
No, that's not. But nobody cares about the Mets, as you just Mike Kaufman cares. He's a diehard Met fan. There was a year when Mike and I went to almost every home game with what was that? General admission. It was I think it was $1.35, maybe $1.15 for the nosebleed seats. We take the train in from where he lived in Copiague, New York, and then. Basically, I think we caught every home game or close to every home game, but it was, still draining even at $1.35 because you never get out with just spending that money. You need a school
Okay,
card.
Tay,
You know, hot dog.
now how did you get there? Did y'all walk, or did you have to take some public transportation, or?
We took the train from Long Island, from Copac, Long Island. And I think the train in those days round trip was only like $4 too. But so that $1.35 was at least $10 every day, and that was a tough thing in the '70s for kids. I don't know how we came up with that much money.
That was going to be my next question. Who sold the kidney to get the money?
I think we was pimping out Jim Jim Norton's wife or
Okay.
or something. I think that's what we were doing. Anyway, where would but so yeah, so Sullivan will be tonight. But just on that, you once said twice out of 2,300 or whatever shows it is. In the day, it was 7 days a week, so it was no issue to say Wednesday to Thursday. If I don't have Thursday,
and even with that being the case, it's still only once or twice.
Still a Mets batting average at best.
Yeah.
You say nobody cares about the Mets, but you'd be surprised.
Well, when I said nobody, I meant nobody that I cared about, because I don't know anybody. I don't know anybody to begin with, and then for me to know an actual Mets fan, I don't know any actual Mets fans.
See, my problem is I signed up for all these Met fan groups on all sorts of social media, so I see them arguing all day about, and they're like Steven. Every day we got this, let's go, we come upcoming season, we're gonna sweep it, and then they get swept at home by what used to be
the Girl Scouts.
Yeah, the Cleveland Guardians. Come on. And you almost get no hit by the Cleveland Guardians. Come on. And I think they put in the worst pitcher's little sister who almost no hit them. I don't know. That's probably an exaggeration. I'm sorry. But Met fans are like no other. You got to believe. I think Tug McGraw fucking poisoned them with that. You got to believe, because they got lucky in 1973 with that. You got to believe. And now they've been saying that since 1973. And you got to believe.
It's like, I guess that's like the people who believe their lucky underwear are the ones, is the underwear that they were wearing back the last time that they won the World Series would be the underwear that they're going to wear every year, every day until they win again.
Yeah. Not going to happen. They're not going to win again. Never. They're never going to win again. That's not a pessimist attitude. That's a realist attitude. As much as I am a personal pessimist, and I say this all the time that I'm a pessimist, when it comes to society and bigger issues and world issues and stuff that I don't really fucking care about, because I only care about myself, I'm a realist. I'm in between optimist and pessimist. I know. Listen, I'm not going to tell myself we're winning when we just got swept. 8 of the last 9 games they've lost. I'm not going to sit there and say, well, kumbaya, bro, folks. Rah, we're doing that. I'm not going to be a fucking cheerleader. That's not going to happen. I'm going to say, things aren't going well, man. I'm not going to lie to myself. No, I'm not. I will lie to you. I won't come in your mouth.
Speaking of lying, did you see where Trump wants a new census done? He wants a new census based on the election results.
Yeah, and not counting any.
Right, and I don't think the Constitution will allow you to do that. I think the Constitution asks for every person residing in the United States to be counted. I think that's literally what the Constitution says. So I don't think that when they go to court to do this, because that's what's going to have to happen, it has to be approved in the courts, that they're going to find 12 justices to go along with that.
Wow.
Because they're going to have to go through the appellate court and the district courts and circuit courts and basketball courts and the tennis courts.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I totally agree with you on all that. But let's say it fails all those courts. He's not going to let it die without going to the ultimate court, which is the Supreme Court. And
the court of public opinion over on Twitter.
Well, he just can lie to himself about what the court of opinion is, right? You can just
That's true, yeah.
But so the Supreme Court is acting like he is Jim Norton's wife, and they are Jim Norton, and they're going to suck him off.
I think they suck him off when it comes to it's a lot of the Supreme Court justices, and by I say a lot, I mean 6 of them, believe in a unitary, really believe in a unitary executive theory of the theory of the unitary, right, the theory of the unitary executive.
That's easy for you to say.
Yeah, it was before I put it to words in my head. It was really nice. It laid out properly and everything.
Yeah.
But if they really believe, I mean, true, they've gone against their beliefs quite a few times. But the one thing that they seem more consistent with is the unitary executive, the theory of the unitary executive. That's one thing they do here. They adhere to that more so than the Constitution.
Right.
There nowhere does it give the executive branch.
I think you should just probably just put like find out a substitute word to put in there, like Weichenscroft, and that will be easier.
but first, unitary executive. But first, okay, you want to die? Okay, yeah. But first, the theory of unitary executive.
Yeah. No, I get upset, but who knows? I mean, you know what? Isn't it time? Am I going to get in trouble? Isn't it time for Clarence Thomas just to go?
But here's the other thing: if they grant him that, and the next president, whoever it is, decide they're going to do that same thing, there's going to be nothing to stop them. And if they do it in a way that really benefits that one individual to the exclusion of all else, which is what Trump is trying to do as well, then they're going to be fucked, because then they could just say, well, we don't even need a Supreme Court.
You're such a pessimist.
I am a pragmatic optimist.
Oh, pragmatic, are you?
I can say that word without this stuff.
Pragmatic. Let me see what is. Now let me just come back, because we were speaking of lying.
Were we? You're lying.
Yeah. Well, I am lying. But yesterday, as I pointed out to you on the Congress's website,
right? Yes,
Constitution changed. Now they last night in the middle of the night, Twitter was saying a glitch caused certain parts of the Constitution not to. Now that's a fucking lie. A glitch. Yeah. Come on.
Yeah. You know something? I want to bet that there's a guy that works for the government. His name is Alfred Glitch, and they just went
a glitch,
a glitch, and they sent him a memo, and they said, "Hey, Glitch, will you do us a favor?" And so that way they could say, "A Glitch is responsible for, what just happened," and now A Glitch is going, They told me to do it. No, I'm not responsible. They told me. They say, "Hey, Glitch, if you want to keep your job."
Well, there's a couple of things about that. Well, first of all, it's just convenient that glitch just seems to favor Trump and and the MAGA party and all its glitches wherever it goes. But it's amazing to me that got found so quickly. Like somebody's going and monitoring the Congress website, congress.gov, and reading the Constitution to see if parts got taken out every fucking day. How do you find that? How do you discover that?
You have people like Crew. Crew. There are some organizations, the ACLU, that are constantly monitoring these things.
Wow,
and they have volunteers.
Boring job.
Yeah, but they have volunteers. But these are true believers. True believers is like, okay, I will dedicate 2 or 3 hours a day to do this. It's not like you have like a whole, one person watching in 24 hours a day. You could have 8 people watching in 3 hours a day.
That's fine. I appreciate that they're doing that. Listen, they're providing a valuable service, but you got to know what to look for. First of all, you got to go there with the intent of, I'm going to look at what it says about the Constitution and have a copy of the original Constitution.
Or you have an algorithm that's just looking for changes in the website.
All right, that might, that's
and in that way, it doesn't matter what the change is, and then it sees every change and it goes, "What was the change?" Yeah. Oh. Then that's not good.
Probably something in computer. Yeah, that's exactly what he was. You and Ian are on the same. Are you fucking Ian? And no, I don't mean fucking. Are you fucking Ian? Are you Ian? Are you and Ian? I've never seen you and Ian. in the same place at the same time.
There is a saying about minds. It's idiots come to the same conclusion. I don't know. No, great minds think alike.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. I thought you said mimes, not mine.
Great minds.
Ian's a mime.
Yeah.
I never knew that about him. But we'll come. You are the real GD Fenderson, but it's somebody, and I'm not going to say who, but it's somebody who probably is in the chat room right now. I think they were in the chat room earlier, maybe. They were on a short of the revs that I that I posted, and they wrote underneath it, GD sharing the facts. I was like, well, that's not GD. That's the Rev. Is it the Rev impersonating you?
No, because I have 3 YouTube three YouTube accounts. The Reverend's account is on my computer in my phone. I have my account, GD Fenderson Certified Forensic Humorist, and then I have another account that they created for me that I only use to search things that I don't want to show up and affect my algorithms. So that GD, and that's still GD Fenderson, but I think that's like GD Fenderson 183 or something like that. And that only has 6 followers. And that's because they probably died and don't even know that I don't even use that account.
Yeah.
That's had 6 followers from the very beginning.
Wow. So you have great mimes act alike.
And I was looking for that. I could not figure it. Thank you, Ian. I was actually looking for that. I was going to go there, and I couldn't figure out the word to substitute for act.
Who was that? That famous mime. You know,
Marcel.
Wow, you got it right on the tip of your little Jim Norton's wife.
Well, because he was. Well, first of all, I really liked him. There was also Shields and Yarnell, but they weren't a mime. They were a team. They were a husband and wife team.
I did not know that.
Shields and Yarnell? Really?
They
were, for what they did, they were very good. Now, I don't think they were as good as that they deserved their own television show, but they were so hot that they were given their own television show, their own variety show.
The opening monologue was wonderful.
Yeah. So, but they were good. They were good for what they did. But Marceau was in Silent Movie.
Right.
No, Silent Movie, and he was the only one that had a speaking line.
Wow. Go for
yeah.
that.
Yeah, because
he's a jokester. He's stealing Harpo Marx's joke from Lucy when he had that one line. I think Harpo said one word, or maybe it was just a sneeze.
I think it was a sneeze.
Yeah, cool.
But the one word that Marceau said was no.
No. Right.
No. And of course he's French. He should have said no.
And what translate that into, I don't know, Portuguese?
No. I think no is the same in like 50. No is the same in almost like 1,500 languages.
Wow. Yeah.
And isn't that we have over 1,500 languages, but only like 196 countries. Some countries are like really, really like got a lot of useless languages.
That was an Abbott and Costello bit that GD just let fly by there. I told him to translate no into another language, and he said no. And I was about to say, yes, you're not going to do it. And he should have said no. And we could have gone, yes, no, and just gone on forever for the next 2.5 hours. But he said, nah, I'm not going to. No, he said no to that, which in Spanish is no.
Now, there was there's a bit. Who's on first? Abbott and Costello.
Yeah.
Really great bit. But it has one flaw in it. It has a flaw in it. And I brought it up to Alan Katz. He goes, I never thought about that. And okay. Let me see. I may have to look it up. No, I mean I found the flaw, but I wrote it down so that it made sense. So how would you fix it? And that is, they're talking about the pitchers and the catcher. And the pitcher, his name is Today, I believe. And the catcher's name, I think, is Yesterday. And so he's going. So Costello's trying to figure out what's going on here, and says, "Can you tell me the name of the picture?" And he said, "Today, I think it is. Or is it tomorrow? Maybe it's tomorrow."
Tomorrow.
Right. And then he goes, "But I'm asking you today." But they don't. But anyway, it was not. It was such a thing that they let the name get only used as the other word and not as the name. Like everything else, he says, you throw it to who? That's right. You know, whenever they use the word who, whenever they use this word, I don't know, they would apply it to the position. But one time he said the word today or tomorrow, one of the two, and they didn't apply it to the position. He actually used it like English language intended, and they skipped right over it instead of going. And so I fixed it in when I was doing it with Alan, and I said, no, this is how they should have done it, and I fixed it.
Maybe you could present that to Lou next time you see him.
Next time I see him, I will, and he'll tell me, look, Abbott stole it from somebody else. It wasn't even our original routine.
Can I see your hands? You didn't show me the other one. I knew. Do you know why? Because the other one's got too much time on it. That's why.
Oh, that is like probably the second most clever thing you said today.
Yeah.
The other one you said before you got on the air, so nobody heard it.
Right. I have to comment on Howard Stern. I have to, because people going off on, and
it's because of the short we did. Well, I'm saying we, but I said me, but it's you and I on the short.
Yeah. No.
Okay. Damn. I was
people are reacting to his not getting picked up by his not getting renewed by Sirius. People are saying he got fired and all this stuff. How do you feel about that? Like, you know what? No tears for the fucking guy. And personally, I never met him. I don't really know him. I don't have any problem with him. But apparently, a lot of people are bringing up things that he did in the past that were Howard Stern, shock jockish, and they're still angry about it. But one of the things that they are blaming him for is Dana Plato's suicide, because she was a frequent guest, and every time she was a guest, they would kind of rank on her, humiliate her in some way, and one day she went home and killed herself the day after being on his show.
Why would she keep going back?
Thank you very much. She voluntarily booked herself on that program repeatedly, and went along with the ribbing. And so, but the thing I think this is, people need to understand this. Somebody's going to kill themselves. You can't blame anybody else for making that happen. It happens. They're going to do it, whether somebody else is involved. Now, that might be the last trigger that she had, or whatever a person might have, but there's nothing you can do to make somebody kill themselves or to stop them from killing themselves if they're intent on doing it. You
can take their shoelaces.
Yeah. Or you can just say that there's no footage there. There's missing footage at 1 minute to midnight. I mean,
right. You could change the autopsy to murder.
Yeah.
And that way they did not kill themselves.
There you go. But so it's not like I'm defending what Stern, because it wasn't just Stern; it was the entire whackback. And we've never talked to Jackie about this. And I was
about to say, do we have to talk to Jackie about this?
I don't think that would be a good. Jackie's got some history with suicide. It's a sensitive subject to him.
Did he commit suicide once?
He knows people very close to him. That's what that safe distance from genius is all about. Like, there were geniuses and certifiable geniuses in his family, and they committed suicide. So, but
wow, the certified geniuses in my family became drug addicts.
But so I don't think it's something that Jackie will feel comfortable talking about. It's too serious for him. It's too. But I have a feeling he was there. But everybody was engaging in it, and she was engaging in the banter and going back and forth and all this stuff. So, it's hard to say, well, this is all Howard Stern. So he was going with what the audience wanted, what the guests seemed to encourage, and she kept coming back for more of it. You can't blame. I'm sorry, you can't blame him for her suicide. Get over that. it's a tragedy, but it ain't his fault. Just nonsense. But everybody's chiming in. People are happy now. Trump says Howard Stern's career ended when he endorsed Hillary Clinton 9 years ago, and almost $1 billion ago. That's when his that's when his career ended, when he endorsed Hillary. You realize there've been 3 elections, right?
So why didn't Trump's career end when he endorsed Hillary?
That's a good.
Because he endorsed her for senator.
Yeah, for senator,
and he gave her money
in 2009, 2010, something like that. Yeah, gave up lots of money and best friends with.
Yeah, so if that's the case, why didn't his career end?
Ask
him when you get him on the show. Ask him.
So I will. Slaptail says he blames Mr. Drummond. Now that's the guy on Three's Company, right? The father figure on.
No, Drummond was Different Strokes.
Oh, yeah, that's what I meant. I just didn't. I'm not hip on. That's the one she was on. Different Strokes. Yeah. Didn't one of the other ones just die or something? No. They're all dead now. All those kids and Mr. Drummond's dead.
Really? Because I thought Willis was. Oh no, Willis is dead, right?
I think so. If we know, can we get a death count on that show? Now Slaptail.
Yeah, Mr. Tail. I know Mr. Tail.
He is a big proponent of saying, hold on to your anger, right? I think that's what he said. Keep your anger. It's what makes him funny.
I thought he says don't waste it. Yeah, but I understand. Yeah, it's use your anger to your. I don't know, but I understand what you're saying. I know he says. Yeah.
I was watching Bill Burr on something on YouTube. It's some podcast. I didn't recognize the host. I still don't know who it was, but Bill Burr was talking about how a lot of his fans want him to stay angry for his entire life. And he's like, I don't want my tombstone to say, here like Bill Burr, he was angry. He said, because he always said, don't get happy. You won't be funny anymore if you get happy. But consider the idea that a guy starts out young and he's in comedy, and his comedy is based on anger and all that stuff. But as his life progresses, and his career starts to take off,
and he gets money,
wealthy. He becomes married and happy and settled down, and all that.
His kids are well adjusted.
Yeah, it's hard to maintain that anger, and at some point, and he was making this point, if I do it now, it's going to be inauthentic. The reason it worked then was because it was real. That was what I was really going through. I can't fake being angry now that I'm fucking almost a billionaire. I'm doing movies, I'm doing comedy specials.
Almost everybody that I care about loves me.
Yeah. So this whole thing, but a lot of his fans who were fans of his anger they want him, and
because they're still angry and they need someone to be angry for them.
Exactly. And he's like, you know what? Sometimes you just got to leave those people in the past, and thank you for supporting me, and thank you for helping me make my career. But it's time to move on for both of them. It's like a relationship.
I think what he should say to them is, do for yourself what you've done for me. Support yourself like you've supported me.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll find that happiness.
Yeah. So, but I could see if things are not happening for you, you hold on to that anger, but then you're not going to be all that successful either.
Look, if I've learned anything from my successful comedy career, it is that my anger hasn't helped me, and my joy hasn't helped me, and my humor hasn't helped me. My algorithms haven't helped me. Heaven hasn't helped me.
The most important thing is authenticity and being true to yourself. And
right.
In art, I mean, I hate to fucking sound like a devotee, but I think that writing for an audience of one, being yourself, is an important thing. You got to please yourself first. And if you don't think it's true and funny and to your own, it serves you, there's no point in just going out and try to fucking fake it for other people. I mean, so Bear Love has a group, stand-up comedy group or something, and somebody
Which one?
has
Comedy Cartel, Comedy Cartel, or
I
the
forget. I think it's stand-up.
USA?
I don't know what it is. But in that group, somebody asked the question: what are 3 things that are essential for producing a sold-out comedy show? And I reluctantly gave my 2 cents. I said a headliner with a name recognition, a venue that is known for offering quality experience and good, strong, targeted demographic marketing. And that made somebody angry. Come back. Yeah, you make it sound so easy. I never said, nothing in the question said easy. Nothing in the answer said easy. It's not easy.
No, if it was easy, we'd all do it.
Yeah. And I'm not saying those are the only things. I said those are things that will help, but those aren't the only things. Luck plays a big part in selling out too. I mean,
you could have a great name. Pick anybody, doesn't matter. You can have a great name, a really good venue, and a really good targeted thing, and then the day before the show starts, COVID hits, right. Or earthquake, or shooting.
All that stuff. Yeah. So I mean, yeah, and it will never be easy, even if everything goes right. All the elements in the universe could play into your hand, and it still won't be easy. There'll still be some kind of life isn't easy. Let's just get that on the table right now. Life is not easy.
I mean, I've only had 2 sold out crowds as a headliner in my entire career in 11 years. And one of those places only held 60 people, and we wound up with 70 people. And the other place only held like 200 people. And I had nothing to do with the second one. Someone else did all that marketing way before I stepped foot into that place. They had a following. That building had a following. They were there to see comedy, and I think my mother could have showed up and got the sellout crowd.
Oh.
Yeah.
Now, what happens when? So you said that first club only holds 60 people, and they had 70 people show up. What, the standing room only? What did
they stood? They stood. Well, they stood for like maybe 10 minutes, and they found some folding chairs in the back, and they just put them in the back.
That's weird. I mean, you do what you got to do as the club, whatever. But as a consumer, could I stand up and watch a comedy show? I don't know.
They put they gave them folding chairs and cushions and stuff. Made them at home and gave them free drinkies. Wow. Free drinkies, which I don't think anybody else got free drinkies.
Wow.
But then again, they weren't paying for that drink because that show I had an alcohol sponsor for that show.
Right.
And I can't even remember the name of the vodka. You think that my very first show, my first recorded show, and it had an alcohol sponsor, that I would remember the alcohol sponsor because they made it possible, and I don't. And I even had a bottle of it in my liquor cabinet for like a year, and I still can't remember the name of that vodka.
Does it matter? I mean, yes, it matters for the sponsorship and all that stuff, but vodka. Doug Stanhope talks about this a lot, where brown liquor, it matters. Brand name, age, and all that stuff. Vodka is vodka. It doesn't matter if it's a $1.29 bottle of vodka.
It does matter. Oh yeah, I am, and that's the other thing that surprised me.
You think Absolute is better than Popov?
Yes, I do. Wow. I do. And the reason why I say that is because I can drink straight Absolute, not even on the rocks, right out the bottle, pour me a shot, and I feel just fine. And I drink Pop Off and Jerk Off and all the other offs, and it doesn't feel the same. It doesn't taste the same.
So you go to the bar with Jim Norton's wife? Is that what you're saying?
No. She's the bartender.
Oh.
She uses it as a stirrer. And at the end of the night, that's what he sucks off, the residue of the alcohol.
See, I get this shit in my head, and then I can't get it out, and it comes out of my mouth like hey, Jim Norton's wife. It's just like I'm obsessed with it. I'm not obsessed with it. I'm trying to. I'm. What
I
am
have
I?
a question for you from the governor gallery.
I'm possessed. Yes, go ahead.
Sunshine says, well, let me see if that's a question or is it a statement. I need to see the punctuation. It's being covered by a logo. Let's see. It won't. Damn it. I can't. I need to move her. I need to move her comments somehow.
Sunshine. Oh.
Yeah, I'm going to type something in just so I can move her statement beyond the punctuation.
Great minds think alike?
Oh, yeah, no. Oh. It says woof. Oh, fuck. I am mad. If that showed up on the screen, I'm sorry. I was supposed to be typing on my phone and I typed in my computer.
Oh.
Okay. Let's say, hey, and enter. Move it up a little bit. Yeah. Okay, there's no punctuation. I went through all that for no punctuation. Her statement says Wolfman Jack was a shock jock. I don't know if it's a question or a statement, but I don't think he was a shock jock, was he?
Sort of. Well, because it's like I don't know how to kind of explain this. Was somebody a power hitter in the 1930s when was Babe Ruth a power hitter when he was hitting 9 home runs his first season or whatever? Yeah, because nobody else had hit any home runs the year before. And like, so what Wolfman Jack was doing in 1969 and 1970 when he say, "What are you wearing, baby?" That was considered shocking. Well, oh my God, he's asking a woman what she's wearing on the telephone. But by today's standard, or even by mid 70s standards, he wasn't a shock jock. But by early 70s standards and late 60s standards, he was the first. And a lot of shock jocks. Imus was definitely influenced by Wolfman Jack in a big way. And I think he directly stole it. What are you wearing, baby?
Now that's weird because I used to impersonate Wolfman Jack. I think everybody did. It was one of the easier ones to do as a child. And I don't remember hearing anything that I would have gone like, ooh, that's racy, or ooh, that's shocking. I don't remember anything like that.
Did you actually listen to him on the radio, or did you just know him from American Graffiti? Because he was a local. I mean,
I didn't know him from. I knew him from. I think it started from American Graffiti, or that's when I made the connection. Yeah. But
and then he Midnight Special.
Midnight. Okay, yeah, I knew him from Midnight Special.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I didn't know him from the radio, so I did not. Yeah.
WNBC 66 on the AM dial. He was a jock, and yeah, it was nothing remotely shocking by today's standards. But he would say some things that were for late night television audiences type thing, like things you could get away with on the Tonight Show, but you couldn't get away with in prime time in the 60s and early 70s, that kind of stuff.
Okay. So, because I even remember, I thought Wolfman Jack was kind of corny, but because he was a popular voice, I could do it. But I thought he himself was corny. But then again, I only knew him from Midnight. Was it Midnight Special?
Yeah, I think that's fair. I mean, it by today's standards, absolutely is cornball.
Well, even back then, like I said, as a teenager, I thought he was cornball.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see that. I mean, there was definitely that aspect to him. But was he a shock jock? I would say sort of. He was definitely inspirational to a lot of shock jocks. I don't think Stern was influenced by him at all. Stern was more influenced by Weird Al Yankovic than radio people, to be honest with you. I mean, he did How Weird. When Stern, most people don't know this, but I don't know if you know this, but when Stern first came to 66 AM WNBC in New York, he was How Weird Stern. And he was doing a lot of song parodies and stuff like that. And he looked like Al Yankovic. He was stealing Al Yankovic's act, and it was not going well. I know he was doing some shocking things in Washington before they hired him, but that was his act still at that time. And he was selling albums of his parody work and all that stuff. Not going very well for Howard when he first started, but
He's done all right for himself. He's done all right for himself. I wonder if those, now that he's Howard Stern, do you think did those albums ever get like a resurgence? Were they hidden gems? In other words, you know what I'm saying? Were they good, but because he wasn't known, they didn't sell, or were they just bad? So even Howard Stern could not sell them today.
Yeah, I think he could sell them today. He wouldn't try to. He tries to bury them. He's embarrassed by them. He doesn't want people to know about them. He doesn't want people to remember they were pretty bad. Al Yankovic was better. He was doing Al Yankovic's act without Al Yankovic's talent.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So if somebody bought one of those albums, today, or not today, but if they had one, if they bought them back then, and then they could they sell it on eBay and get money for it, or would they have to go to Howard Stern and say, "Would you sign this for me?" and then try to sell it?
He wouldn't sell. He wouldn't sell. But I think even just selling it on eBay, they'd probably get a pretty penny for it. This is something because Jackie saved everything, and this is just before Jackie did his first show on NBC with Stern. And they weren't listening to Jackie's albums, and I'm pretty sure that Jackie had one. He probably still has one.
I want to ask Jack if he has any of those Howard Stern parody albums.
Yeah,
I'm gonna text him now.
They were not good. They weren't even. Yeah, I was never a Yankovic fan. I thought Al Yankovic really he didn't put a whole lot of thought into his. Or maybe you talk about cheesy. He didn't put a lot of great comedy into it. It was just like, the name rhymes with something. Let's eat it, whatever. Let's do eat it instead of beat it. No. And Howard was not even as good as Al Yankovic, so not my thing. If you're gonna do parody.
Okay, see, last time, the reason why Jackie wasn't responding to my text previously was because I was sending the text to his home phone number, and my phone wasn't telling me, "Hey, this is his home number." It would just sit there.
Yeah, okay. I think my phone actually says that's not a cell phone; it's a landline or something like that.
Mine used to. Mine just says, "If he's too dumb to know the difference, who am I to tell him? He'll figure it out."
Yeah. So anyway, the point I was making there was Stern didn't make Dana Plato kill herself. It's a tragedy. She was going to kill herself. And you know what? YouTube's going to say.
Do you think I have to say Howard Stern, or could I just say Howard? Do you think
Howard, you could just say Howard.
I don't want to type out Stern if I don't have to.
I would love to. You know what? Maybe I should reach out to Jackie and tell him it's time to come back. I don't want to overtax him on his appearances here, but I think to get some commentary on this whole serious not renewing his contract and all that stuff, because people are acting like he got fired. He didn't get fired. He got plenty of advance notice that it just wasn't worth $100 million. The money's not coming in. Everybody was quick to talk about Colbert being a financial situation when they actually were still making money. I'm certain that Sirius was losing money over Howard, but they thought he was enough of a foundation that the other shows that were making money were only making money because he was there, so it was worth losing money on him in some way. But it's purely a financial thing, and it's not because of his politics, although his politics probably he became more political. It's that he stopped being Howard Stern. The Howard Stern, it's like Bill Burr. The same fucking thing. His fans wanted him to stay the Howard Stern from the 1990s. And he grew up and grew beyond that. And he divorced his first wife and met a new smoking hot wife and moved on with his life. And he became a billionaire. It's hard to stay that anti-establishment dude when you got $1 billion in a house out in the Hamptons, a mansion out in the Hamptons where you don't even have to go to work anymore. You get lazy. I'm not defending the guy. I'm just saying that would happen to any of us. If I gave you $1 billion in a mansion and said you never have to leave there again, you're going to get lazy. It's just human.
I don't know. Because I have an urge to be creative, so I don't think I would get lazy. I might not. I might not leave the house, but I would still be creative. And I would probably leave the house because I need something to be creative about.
Oh yeah, I bet you he's doing that. I mean, I know he's doing that because he learned to play guitar, even though he's had a guitar in his studio since 1980 or whenever we started. But he never fucking played the thing. And I've seen him playing it recently, and I said, you know what? He's been taking lessons or something. He's improved. So he's still, you know. But when I say lazy, because people don't take one more time, the Long Island, the long part is really important in Long Island, and he's out on the East End where anywhere you go. It's a fucking chore. To go anywhere from where he lives, you need a rocket, you need a helicopter. Yes, and so yeah, lazy. I'm not leaving the fucking house, but yeah, I'm certain he's still doing stuff, and you know, I'm wondering. I think at, at, at his core, he's gonna miss it. Like he's gonna miss the microphone in front of his face. He I know he hates podcasts, but
I am hoping that when Jackie responds to my text, he's going to start it off with, "What are you, queer?"
Yeah. Oh, he doesn't.
Because that means he loves me.
Fag.
Yeah.
What fag?
Yeah.
I didn't say I want to suck Jim Norton's wife's dick. See, I can't stop. Why did they have to put that fucking thought in my head? I don't know.
So I'm got my fingers crossed. Please be a fag. Please be a fag. No.
Wow. It's an honor to be called a fag by you. Maybe we should come up with some kind of Jackie Martling award where that looks like a guy getting slammed in the ass by his friend or something. I don't know.
I think they already make that award. They just don't call it a Jackie.
Yeah.
I think they call that a caning. I think it's named after Ron Kane. I think they call it the Caning Award.
Yeah. Now, one other thing on the comedy front that Mark Maron, I talked about his that clip is from a new special I think he has where he's talking about Hitler being on Theo Von's program.
Blind Mike has been all over that.
Oh yeah, what is he saying about it?
I don't know. I just know I'm getting alert from Blind Mike thing, and they're telling me, and he's done 2 about Mark Maron, and one he just won't let it go. The second one says he just won't let it go. So I don't know if it's like the same show, and he, I don't know. I can't rely on their accuracy sometimes.
Well, there is this thing about Maron.
He doesn't pull stuff very easily. That's true. He doesn't. But
yeah. He was one of the first comedians to embrace podcasting and have a successful podcast. But then people like Rogan blew so far past him as far as numbers and success and all that stuff. I think he harbors a lot of resentment towards that. Like, I was Lewis and Clark, and now look at you. You're fucking running the country. I think he harbors a lot of resentment for that. But
Mark Maron, when Mark Maron started, he was Mark Maron. We knew what Mark Maron was about. His comedy. If you went to see his comedy, you weren't going there for like a chuckle every 13 seconds. You knew you would get a lecture, a point of view, and then a laugh, and then maybe not even a laugh, maybe more like a, yeah, you're right, yeah, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Joe was nothing. Okay, I'm sorry. He was, in my mind, he wasn't a comedian. He wasn't funny, so he was like a blank slate. They could have like piled anything onto him as long as it was, they could have just styled him toward an audience instead of finding an audience for him.
Right.
They could have said, this is what the audience needs. Joe Rogan will be that now and draw them in. That's I could be wrong.
Take on it. No, I don't think you're wrong. I think because Maron was on Bobby Lee, bad friends with Bobby Lee and Andrew Santino. And if they brought up Rogan, and then all of a sudden, like that was all that Maron wanted to talk about. But he did, when they wanted to leave the subject, he said, one more thing about Rogan.
Yeah.
He said, I was there when he started at the Comedy Store. And the idea was they brought him in. He was a kickboxer. Oh, no, he was talking about in Boston, his first like comedy club appearances in Boston. And he's saying the whole idea, they brought this guy in. He was a young, good-looking guy. And then there was another guy who was a state champion in football. And like, this is a comedy show. comedy shows are not about young, good-looking guys. They're about funny-looking guys who have lived some life and have some experiences. And he's like, this is going to be bad for comedy when we start. And I kind of get where Maron is coming from the idea that comedy was best when geeks did it, when weirdos did it, when there were no good look, and still aren't like a lot of really good looking comedians. And if they stay in the comedy game, they get uglier as things go along. But I don't think I think putting somebody on stage and giving them stage time in a comedy club just because they happen to be young and good looking is not good for the art form of comedy. I don't think a lot of comedy comes from that. I think you really need to be relatable to the audience, and not like be a Matt Rife guy who's just relatable to MILFs and is just filling the room with MILFs, and the guys are all turned off by it or forced to go there because their wife wants to go see some fucking fresh meat and stuff. So that was a point Maron was making. I think he's right about that. The idea that, that I know comedy has changed in a great degree from when Maron was young and Rogan was young and all this stuff started to happen. And I think right now it's more accessible to good-looking people, women, men, whatever, than it ever was before. But I'm not sure it's a good thing for comedy. I appreciated the days with Carlin wasn't a good-looking guy. Richard Pryor might have been good-looking, but he certainly
he was funny. He was funny looking to me.
Yeah, he was, and I think he played up his quirks to make himself.
Yeah, and it's hard for me to tell. And Sunshine, I will get to your comment in a second. It's hard for me to tell. For example, Phyllis Diller made herself look a little more unattractive than she was.
Right, a lot more
unattractive. Well, yeah, she was, because she wasn't like a hideous creature, but she put on these wigs and she put on these outfits that made, because I think somewhere she knew, or maybe somebody told her, if you're too hot, nobody's going to think you're funny.
Yeah.
Buddy Hackett didn't have a choice. He was just funny with like a strange lip and, but I'm not sure that, I'm trying to think. Johnny Carson, did he do stand up, or did he just do appearances like as Johnny Carson host, and he just did funny stuff like his monologue elongated?
Johnny,
because he wasn't unattractive.
Yeah, Johnny was a magician. And then he was a game show host, and that's how he got the Tonight Show, from doing game show stuff. But he had, after he had the Tonight Show, he was doing stand up, but it's not like he was like Leno did stand up before the Tonight Show and then continued to do stand up consistently throughout his tenure.
Yeah, I seem to think of Carson's stand up as being more like monologues that somebody. So he just took his monologues and made it into like a stand-up thing.
Pretty much, yeah, that's what he did. Let me just get to this comment here. There are many women, this is Slaptails saying this, many women now literally dress hot and talk about how hot they are and do no jokes. I'm guessing he's talking about like Nikki Glaser, and Nikki Glaser is not hot to me. I think she's
I think I think she's funny, and because of that, I think she's attractive. Because I find her attractive because she's smart.
Yeah, I'm just thinking of what other really. I mean, Erica is cute, but she doesn't, and she's very funny. But she doesn't make it. She never talks about herself as like being hot. So
there's a comedian. Her name is Jordan Urie. I think Jordan Urie. But again, I've seen the things that he's talking about. I've seen it, and I've watched young comedians. There's this one young girl. She's only in her second year of comedy, and she's really busty, and she wears these outfits so that her tits are like sitting up like this. Okay, there's like it's more like she's not doing stand up. She's doing stand tits. And the thing is, the male comics just want to bang her.
Yeah.
But they don't laugh at her jokes. And she was getting depressed because she was like, take me seriously. I want to be funny. I want to be funny. It's like, well, hide your tits.
Yeah.
And stop wearing shorts that are so short that we could almost see your waterline.
Right.
If you want people to notice your jokes,
it's a quack skirt. Comes right up to the quack.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Joan Rivers is another one, like you mentioned, Phyllis Diller, who purposely made herself less attractive. Joan Rivers in her early years did that, but as things progressed for her and things started to change, she started to get plastic surgery and tried to become more attractive in some way, and it didn't work.
Well, part of it, because I don't know which came first, the plastic. I think the plastic surgery stuff, and I could be wrong, was because she wanted to be more than just a comedian. Like she wanted Johnny Carson's seat or something akin to that. And so I think something inside of her was like they're saying, well, if you were this, you might get that.
Yeah.
I mean, eventually she got her own red carpet show and stuff.
She had a Johnny Carson type show on Fox.
Yeah, she did.
The reason Johnny and her, because she thought of herself as the heir apparent to Johnny's stuff,
right?
And then he wasn't dying fast enough, so she took the deal with Fox without even asking him or telling him,
without asking for his blessings,
right?
Which is like so fucking arrogant. It's like, why should she ask for his blessings to further her career? I mean, I know he did a lot for her, but ask for his blessings. I mean, give him a heads up. But as for his blessings, fuck off, Johnny.
Yeah, no,
that's why I'll never ask Johnny for his blessings. Now,
I don't think he was a pope. Johnny was not the pope. I couldn't bless.
That was Sinatra.
Yeah.
No, I'm not just. Sunshine. This is going back to Mark Maron, and she says they put Maron down for not changing. And others for changing too much.
That's
figure.
That's fair. I think that's fair. Maron is pretty much the same guy he always was. He hasn't had that superstar career though, right? I mean, I guarantee you, if you talk to people who are not comedy fans,
right?
And you say Mark Maron, they probably,
or if they know Mark Maron, they don't know him as a comedian.
Yeah. But I don't think that's true. It's like a weird dichotomy there where Bill Burr gets hell for changing someone. And I don't think Bill Burr's changed that. Listen, he hasn't totally lost his angst, but he gets some hell for changing, and Maron gets hell for not changing. That's a weird fucking situation to be in. Like, what, you damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. It's hard to sustain a decades-long career. Anyway, in anything, in music and comedy, if you do that, you're doing something. You figured stuff out that most people can't figure out, because a lot of people, even if they have some success, it doesn't last decades.
Yeah, I know. My wife, the one in the other room, we'll have these talks. Well, well, you can tell when she's in the room because I don't do certain things. If my wife is in earshot, I don't do certain things. Like the voices of the Negro step and fetch. I don't do that voice if my wife can hear me. Well, right now she could hear me, but she's in the middle of a meeting, and so she's not paying attention to me. Yeah. So I could do it now. I'd be like, Lord, and then she wouldn't know. But if she was in the next room, just reading her reports, she'd hear me, and I'd know.
Yeah, coming back to Slaptail's thing about, and he says he's looking for some clips, and you know what, I don't know if we could play the clips, but yeah, we'll certainly try. But this idea about women dressing hot, because what I see, at least, listen, I'm not putting down Govs. I love Govs. Govs is my favorite comedy club on Long Island. It's the only one, really. There are women, especially the middle-aged women, who don't seem to understand that they're performing in a comedy club. They look like they're performing, and this is not looking hot. This is looking schmaltzy. Is schmaltzy a word? They look like they're going to a gala, or they're dressed up in like gowns and stuff. It's like, this is not comedy attire. You don't come out like you're going to an award show or something.
Schumer, one of her specials, she comes out wearing a very, very short, tight-fitting skirt. This is before she had the baby, I believe. It's an older thing.
Yeah. No problem there. Slaptail. I wasn't saying, go and get those clips. No problem there. But
maybe it's because now I'm just throwing this out there, because when men make public appearances, quite often nobody gives a shit how we look or how we're dressed. There are such things as fashion police who'll go like, "Did you see the outfit that GD Fenderson wore on stage?" If I'm doing comedy, nobody has ever commented. Oh, I take that back. Some comedians have commented about the way I dress on stage once, for about a month or so, but that was only because they thought I was wearing expensive clothes. They were hand-me-downs. They belonged to my nephew. I don't own $400 jeans. I own jeans that I got for free. Somebody else paid $400 for. So, but women, when they do things like public appearances, there's going to be somebody say, "She was funny, but did you see the dress she wore? She was funny, but did you see her shoes? She was funny, but did you see her makeup?"
I think that's a good thing to observation. But now Slaptail just says, "I care how you look as a producer." I disagree. But I think if the audience is noticing how much, if they're noticing what you're wearing, they're not listening. It's distracting from the. I think you have to fit in. You have to know your style. You have to be consistent with your image that you're projecting out there. But also, you have to be subtle enough that that's not the thing that they're paying attention to. It's like an umpire in baseball. If you notice the umpire, he's not doing his job.
Yeah, I would not wear. I don't wear sweatpants on stage because. I heard. Now I found out from a woman. There was another comedian on stage. She was wearing sweatpants, and she was saying, "Does he want us to see his dick?" And that's what she kept saying. And she kept saying, "He wants us to see his dick. That's what he wants." And so I made it a point to never wear sweatpants on stage when I'm performing. I wear jeans, and I wear jeans that make me look like I don't have a dick necessarily. Don't need, because it's not part of the show.
Yeah. That's a pet peeve of mine. That there's a couple of pet peeves of people who on Long Island, especially in the local area, who know me, know that will fucking make me, if they get under my skin. And one is guys who take, and women too, who take tablets or phones on to read chord charts or lyrics on when they're doing music. And the other is people who wear shorts on stage. And it seemed to be, especially in cover bands, these people who wear shorts on stage. I feel like,
what about Angus from was that Angus from AC/DC?
That's a different thing. Yeah, I can understand that. That's part of his look. That's always been part of his look. The
little schoolboy outfit.
Yeah. That's a character thing he's playing. But these guys just look like they were just on their way to go to the deli to get a sandwich and just actually ended up on stage somehow. It's just, you know what? I don't put a whole lot of effort into showbiz attire, but you got to wear pants.
Now, I think it was the singer from the Tubes, the front man from the Tubes, used to go on stage with a leotard or something, or like a teddy wearing, and had a dildo sticking out of his bottom of his teddy or something.
They were very Plato's Retreat oriented type of imagery when they started.
I haven't heard Plato's Retreat used in a sentence in such a long time.
Well, I had a friend named Vinny Savino who he went to Plato's Retreat and stood in line almost butt naked with a rose sticking in out of his ass, like a with thorny rose stem in his ass and roses coming out of his ass. And that when you said the dildo thing, that would be my. But the Tubes changed from that image to suit and tie stuff, like in the early '80s. She's a Beauty, total. And there's something to be said of that. Reimagining yourself, you gotta know that some of the audience isn't going to come along with you on that ride, though. But
I think they started off being controversial, and I think they wanted to make more money. I guess
that's it. Money changes everything.
Now, Sunshine says, "Believe me, the women know, and using it to their advantage." Talking about the
to their advantage. How? I mean, money-wise, because if you're in a comedy club and a guy is staring at your tits, he's not listening to your jokes. He's not.
I was I don't perform in many competitions. Matter of fact, I don't perform in any competitions now. But in the beginning, I thought I would get exposure by doing competitions. And I was doing a competition in DC, and I was in the semifinals at this point. And the person that I was in the semifinals, one of the people I was in the semifinals with, the week before they had done the material, and I think they got in because of my vote, because you got like to pick like your 3 favorites or something like that. And if I hadn't voted for her, she wouldn't have got in. So, but the next week, she wanted to do better. She did the exact same routine, but she wore a tighter skirt. Because before she just wore jeans and stuff. The next time she wore a skirt that was so tight and so short, I wasn't even sure she was going to make it up on the stage without somebody picking her up. And then she was wearing such a low cut blouse. I think my cousin, a woman, said, "Damn, she's so hot, I may want her," you know. But she did the exact same routine. Now I did a totally different 7-minute set that I'd written for that, and I didn't make it. But her routine was not any funnier than it was before. My routine was funny, but she got votes just for her outfit, and that I know from listening to the audience.
Slaptail is commenting on the change of image and talking about Kiss. When Kiss took off the makeup and started doing, they got a lot of it. This comment that he's making, they did it, and he was like, "Damn, them some ugly motherfuckers without makeup." That was pretty much the standard response. I mean, what did you expect with Gene? I mean, you could tell. I think with Gene Simmons, you could tell he was going to be an ugly motherfucker.
But they had started off just being ugly and just stayed ugly.
Yeah.
You know, and that way, and they never had to take off their makeup. You know, I'm trying to think how much of the success was because of theatrics, and how much, you know, I mean, let's put it this way: if they started off ugly and stayed ugly and had the same success, would people have cared?
Yeah. You know, I don't know if they would have been. It's hard. You can't fucking second guess this. If they would have been successful, I think "Rock and Roll All Night" was a good pop song.
Yeah.
Radio worthy. That probably would have been a hit, whether they had makeup or not. Whether
they would have maybe Dr. Love.
Yeah, they had a couple of good songs. Whether they would have been like anthem, stadium, arena sellouts, and all that stuff, that's a whole other thing. But I think they would have had some hit records without.
Yeah, because they had Beth, which seemed to be a hit record, and because the other thing they had going, now I'm gonna say going from now, it wasn't just the makeup. They were known for being the fucking loudest band. I don't think there was a louder band.
I think the Grateful Dead at the time set the record decibel wise. That was a big thing.
Yeah, but the Grateful Dead wasn't a rock band, were they? They were more
they were extremely loud because walls and walls and walls of fucking speakers are everywhere. And that never was a selling point to me. Even as a young man, I did not. Loud was not the thing. Never. No, who needs that? I want to hear it. I don't want to go fucking deaf. Yeah, they were loud. They were not just loud visual, auditory. They were loud visually with all the pyrotechnics and all that kind of stuff. Very loud. What am I? This is about Stern. He had a kick-ass interview with Biden. I really think if everyone could have heard it, he would have won. I doubt that. Howard is a great interviewer. I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think he's a great interviewer. My wife, who's not like a Howard Stern, she's not she doesn't watch him or follow him, but she watched a couple of his interviews, and she's like, not how he. What?
The thing is, he got a reputation as being a great interviewer because he had great guests on. I could interview Paul Simon or Billy Joel, and people would say, "Well, that was a great interview." It doesn't mean I'm doing anything. Well, it's the guests are compelling. People want to hear what they have to say, whatever. And I'm just picking a couple of names that I had, but that's where he got this reputation. He would have people that people wanted to hear, people wanted to listen to, and he basically would just say stupid things or be fed stuff from Jackie even. And well, he's a great interviewer. No, that's not.
Barbara Walters was a really good interviewer because she would pull shit out of you that you like. I don't want to talk about that, but. And then she would
Oh,
she would do the thing, and then you next thing you know, you're crying in your soup, you're confessing the sins.
well, I saw a clip about a week and a half ago. Barbara Walters interviewing Trump. This is like 1990 or something, and she brought it right to him. She said, "A lot of people saying your empire is built on a house of cards, that you're really teetering on bankruptcy." And at this point, he had not filed for a single bankruptcy yet, but he was about to, and he was denying it. She said, "Oh, he said, oh, you believe the fake press? They're so evil. They're out to get me." And she said, "As a member of the press, I take exception with that. I'm not telling people lies. I'm not. I went to your lawyers. I went to your bank. Oh, what did they say?" And she said, "Well, and basically, she said the bank said you purposely default on loans to try to get leverage and all this stuff. Well, they're not being honest with you. No, your lawyers back that up." And I went directly to them, and he was mumbling and grumbling. He's still that same person who, if the truth hurts, just deny it. If the truth isn't something you're comfortable with, make up an alternate story and just go with it.
And the thing he likes to say is, well, I hear numbers like 22 and
Yeah.
75 and 137. I hear, it's like I hear numbers like that too. If I'm standing in line in the teller's office in the bank or the grocery store, I hear numbers like $199.28.
Yeah, and you know what? 'Cause on that note, I think the press has become pussies. Really, Barbara Walters brought it to his face. She wasn't afraid to have him get angry at her. She wasn't afraid to have him insult her and come back with stuff. She was gonna get to what she wanted to ask him, regardless of the reaction it caused. I think a lot of these people are so fucking intimidated when he says $1.98 a gallon for gas. Nobody has the balls to say, "Can you show us an example of what you're talking about?" Because we can't find one anywhere. They're afraid he's going, "Well, you're an idiot. You're fake news. Everybody knows you're." So what? So let them call you fucking names, but at least ask them the tough questions. Nobody wants to do that. They're a bunch of fucking pussies.
Good morning, Ann from Bakersfield, California. Good morning. Ann's on the line.
How are you, Annie? Can I call you Annie?
Can he call you Annie?
Annie.
Annie, are you okay? Are you okay, Annie? Annie, are you okay? Are you okay, Annie?
Take a load off, Annie. Take a load for free.
Okay. How about Annie, what you gonna do? I think I could. Oh, that's Amy.
That's
Never
Amy.
mind. I know Toto when I hear it.
Who? Toto? Did you say Toto?
I know it's Pure Prairie League.
I was going to say that's not Toto. Toto was something completely different than Pure Prairie League. Pure Prairie League is like a soft-edged country rock thing, one of the first ones. And Toto was more of a pop rock. Most of the Toto stuff very involved with Quincy and Michael Jackson. Steve Lukather was the guy who played the rhythm part on Beat It. He also played Human Nature. I think Steve Porcaro actually wrote Human Nature. So they were a big part of that Michael Jackson sound in the early 80s. So, totally different than Poco. Anyway, Annie.
Sunshine, I think she's right. She wrote a question. Dear Mr. Fantasy by Traffic, yay or nay? I'm trying to remember Mr. Fantasy by Traffic.
Oh, yeah, no, it's a good song. It's I think it's the same as Can't You See, right? DCG thing. It's a great song. Yeah, Steve Winwood.
Yeah.
If you like Steve Winwood, what is she asking? Is it a good song? What is she asking?
Yeah, I think that she's asking if it's a good song, I think.
Not one of my favorites of all time. It's not a bad song.
I mean, whenever I think of Steve Winwood, I think of one song is like, how's it go? If I granted you one final wish, would you ask for some? Oh, Low Spark of High Heel Boys. I like that song, even though it's like 74 minutes long.
Yeah. Yeah. Traffic, I wasn't a big Traffic guy.
Nobody really likes Traffic, but we have to go through it if we're going to get to where we're going.
that was a time where there was a lot of incestuous stuff going on in rock and roll. Like Blind Faith was Eric Clapton, Traffic, like a lot of those things that were coming out, those short-lived groups.
Yeah, like GTR. That was like what Rutherford. Was that Rutherford, Tommy Shaw, and another guy?
Yeah, another guy. That other
another guy.
So yeah, Mr. Fantasy. I don't know. I'm gonna have to listen to that after the program and say what's with that song.
Now, see, I remember when Steve Hillage was considered to be like this great guitar commodity at one point. I think Steve Hillage. I think his big album was called Lights in the Sky or something like that. Light in the Sky. Light in the Sky. Not lightning.
Lightning.
Yeah, Light in the Sky. Steve Hillage.
No. Yeah. I hate those fucking lists. Greatest of all time, because there's always going to be somebody left off. There's always going to be arguments about who should be put in that list, whether top 10, top 20, whatever. You can't come up with a number that's safe. Oh, top million. I'm in the top 5 billion. I'm in the top 5 billion musicians of all time. I don't know if you know this about me. I'm one of the top 5 billion.
I saw you were like 17 spots above me.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you're not in the top 5 billion because I was like 5 billionth. So you're in the 6 billion.
Yeah, I'm in the top 6 billion.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's sad. That's a sad thing.
But at least I got counted. It's just an honor to be mentioned.
Yeah.
But I was the #1 certified forensic humorist who played guitar in the world, on the planet.
Nice.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's you know what you should come up with, because there's a million of these comedy books, how to kill and stand-up comedy and all this stuff. You should come up with a book on how to succeed as a certified forensic humorist. I don't think there's a book like that out yet.
I don't think so, because I haven't written it, because I'm the only successful certified forensic humorist in the country. If you call it successful.
Living, maybe living.
No, I'm the only one. I'm the only one. Woohoo! Winnie the Pooh. Niggers are wonderful thing about niggers is niggers are a wonderful thing. The tops are made out of rubber, the bottoms are made out of springs.
Is that Tigger?
Yeah, nigger. bouncy, roly-poly.
Holy shit! I know Winnie the Pooh references. Fuck me. Just take me out and shoot me now.
Well, originally when Milne wrote it, it was Whitey the Pooh. It wasn't Winnie. It was a whole racist thing.
Now that was Paul Winchell, I think, who did the voice of Tigger.
Yeah, but Milne wrote it, and when Milne wrote it, he wrote it totally different. And Paul wasn't going to do the voices unless he said, "Look, I am not doing Whitey the Pooh. You're going to have to make some changes. If we're going to take this commercial, we're going to make some changes. You can't have Rue being this Aussie bitch. You gotta,
There is on my Facebook page, right? Elizabeth Croydon just shared this. It says video shows Department of Justice officials urging January 6 rioters to kill cops. This is from NPR.org. I would fact check this, and I think Elizabeth is saying the same thing. My dad was DOJ, urging rioters to kill cops was never on my father's resume. But why I'm commenting on this, I thought I was looking at a picture of Willie right up front. It looks like Willie's become Where's Waldo, like he's showing up in fucking pictures on January 6th urging the DOJ. Where's Willie? It wasn't DOJ. It was Department of. I don't know if you know this about me, but I make women squirt. I don't believe any of that shit. See, you got to double check, and you can't. You run out of ability to keep fact checking everything you hear because they just fucking keep. By the time you start to fact check one thing, they're throwing another mountain of bullshit at you. Nancy Mace, you know Nancy Mace?
Congresswoman from South Carolina.
Yeah, she's gonna run for governor of South Carolina.
Yeah,
she was. First of all, she's saying Donald Trump always protects women. She's a rape victim,
right?
for a rapist to not only not a rape victim to not only support a rapist, but see him as a protector of women, there's some psychological damage going on and trauma
she's
unresolved. She's at a gas station pumping gas in her pajamas in the middle of the night and taking pictures for social media. And she posted the stuff, and now she's saying the left is obsessing over her pajamas. There's something wrong with them. Like, I don't know. I think the problem is with you being out in the middle of the night feeling like you need to take pictures of yourself in your pajamas pumping gas and posting that for the world to see.
I mean, where the hell, why does she need gas at that time of night and pajamas? If she's going somewhere where she needs gas, then get it when you're dressed for it, you know?
Yeah. And for, again, the idea that a rape victim would go out in the middle of the night in her pajamas, it seems like, did you not learn anything about...
I think that's what she wants. I think she wanted someone to say, haven't you learned your lesson? And then she would be able to say, like, it's not how you're dressed. I wasn't asking for it. No means no. Rape is not about that. Rape is
provocatively, and I don't think she was asking for it. I think you're not being safe when you go out in the middle of the night by yourself as a woman, like 2 o'clock in the morning, to a gas station by yourself, and people see you taking selfies and stuff. You leave yourself vulnerable to being attacked. Whether I don't think you're asking for it, but I think you're not being smart and you're not being safe. I think that's a fair point to make. It's not saying like she's asking for it in any way. I don't think any woman ever asks. I shouldn't say that. There are certainly women who have rape fantasies, but they don't look to be raped by strangers. They look to have a fantasy in a bedroom where they might have a safe word and all that kind of stuff. But I don't think I'm not insinuating that she was asking for it. I'm insinuating that you're not being safe. And even unless you got a gun in the back of your fucking pajamas there that you're ready to take out and protect yourself, you're leaving yourself wide open to the possibility of being attacked. I wouldn't go out at 2 o'clock in the morning pumping gas in some neighborhoods and feel safe about it. And that's, I remember coming home from a gig one night, stopping for some fast food, and at a window, this guy was coming up, banging on my window, asking for money. And I was like, 2 o'clock in the morning here, this guy could kill me and take my money, and nobody would fucking find me for a day or something. So it's not safe to be out at 2 o'clock in the morning doing these things. But to say that the left is obsessed with this after you posted that stuff of yourself, you're looking for attention. And if people of South Carolina, if this is the kind of shit you want, go for it. That's all I can say. That's the kind of shit you want. At least on the bright side, it'd be one less fucking nutcase in Congress.
Now, Sunshine posted two. Well, she wanted to know if Nancy Mace was a grown-up, but she also wanted to know if we like rare earth. I don't know if she means the mineral. I'm assuming she means the band and not the minerals. I appreciate the minerals, but I just wish we didn't have to destroy the earth to get them. But the band.
Rare Earth, I think I just want to celebrate another day of living.
Hey, Big Brother.
They did. Oh, they also did.
Get Ready.
Get Ready, but they covered it. I think a lot of these songs were covers, right?
I think so.
I wasn't like a big Rare Earth fan. I do remember. I think I like the vocalist voice, but I think most of the stuff, Rare Earth. No, that's coming up out of Rare Earths.
I mean, when I knew about Rare Earth because of my sister. My sister was 6 years older than me, and so she had brought home 2 albums at the same time: a Rare Earth album and a Grand Funk Railroad album. And I think the Grand Funk Railroad album may have been a live album. I'm not sure, but because I heard them like side by side, they were like the same. They were in the same stack, and so I got those 2 bands conflated for years.
Wow.
But I did like Rare Earth, and I did also like Grand Funk Railroad.
Grand Funk Railroad gets still to this day. The short I put out almost 2 years ago from Grand Funk Railroad still gets 1,000 views a week and lots of comments. I'm surprised of all the comments because the hook to it is the critics hated Grand Funk when they came out. People are like, "Oh, critics suck. Critics suck. No critic. There's never been a good critic." Blah, 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 blah. There's a lot of stuff about Grand Funk, and I think a lot of it is overstated. These people, somebody this morning wrote, they did for 3 guys, they did the work of 10 people. No, they didn't. I saw them live. They did the work of 3 people. They were okay. They were good. I'm not saying Grand Funk sucked, but they didn't do the work of 10 people. On their albums, they did because they were overdubs.
Yeah. Neil Peart live did the work of 10 people.
Yeah. Here's the thing about Rare Earth, and I'm not sure if this is. They were first signed to Motown. I don't see any black dudes. I'm wondering if they're the only band that was signed to Motown that was all white dudes. I mean,
they were definitely. I think they were the first. I don't know.
Yeah. Inspired by Motor City's twin legacies in hard rock and roll, they seem to go between R&B and classic rock. I tend to see them more as a R&B cover band. They were covering a lot of Temptation stuff. Now they're listed on their website as American psychedelic rock, psychedelic soul. No, psychedelic? What was psychedelic about them?
The way they dressed back then?
You know,
bell bottoms and
there was one black guy in the band in 1970. Now there's no. I guess they got rid of him. Get rid of the black guy.
He probably went to go play for the Rolling Stones. Was he the bass player? No.
They're from Michigan, so that's interesting. Oh no, yeah, Detroit, Michigan, right? So that's something they have in common with Grand Funk. But I don't, because Grand Funk is listed as also you might also like Grand Funk, which is weird. They're not similar to Grand Funk. And
so when I was growing up, to me, I had difficulty distinguishing them. But then again, I was 6 years younger than my sister, and in a lot of things I didn't. There are a lot of things if you weren't extremely unique, I didn't distinguish it. Like, okay, Dionne Warwick was so unique, I would know her voice anywhere. Okay, but then you'd have like a bunch of other, there were a bunch of other soul bands, and I couldn't tell you the difference between Shy-Lights and Spinners and those other groups. I couldn't tell you, but I could tell you the Isley Brothers because they had a distinct sound. I could tell you the Temptations, they were distinct. I could tell you the Miracles, they were distinct. But then there was 12 soul bands that I couldn't tell the difference unless I saw them. And then I go, oh, they did that song.
You know, I opened up for Dionne Warwick once. It was the early 80s. I'm thinking at the time she was already doing so it might have been mid 80s. She was already doing the Psychic Friends Network stuff. But I was a big fan of hers in the 60s. I mean, she had some really good hit songs. Do you know the way that San Jose is a good
That's the first one that popped into my mind. Now, I liked One Less Bell to Answer.
Yeah.
Was
that her or Marilyn McCoo? I thought that was Marilyn McCoo.
I thought Dionne Warwick did it first and then McCoo did it second.
Oh, that could be.
I thought it was a remake because I remember, well, I would cry when I heard that song. I probably would still cry.
But I remember the night we opened up for her. She was supposed to do, I think she was supposed to do 90 minutes. She ended up doing maybe an hour and 5 minutes. I think her voice was cracking. There was something going on stage where she looked panicked. She was looking around and she didn't feel comfortable. And somebody was talking, and I didn't hear it. But somebody was saying, "Did you hear that? Her voice is giving out." And I was like, well, "I don't hear it." It's not like she would sing. She didn't sing stuff that took a lot of, super projection. She wasn't like a belter. She sang nice, but and not the kind of stuff that would make your voice crack. Like you're not constantly reaching for high notes or all that kind of stuff. But she cut the show short, and that felt really weird because the crowd was not happy. And then, being part of that show, you always feel like maybe how do I make excuses for the people who bought tickets to see us and stuck around for? And then it did happen. Well, I know people say, yeah, that didn't happen. It did happen. But North Stage Theater, I think it was somewhere in 1982, 83. I don't know if she was doing a second friend. Nice enough lady. She was nice to the band because a lot of people we opened up for, not nice. They were snobby. Like, we don't have anything to do with the opening act. You go. There's a room for you down in the closet down the hall there. That's your room. Don't come near us. But she was very accommodating and opened the buffet to us and all that stuff. But it was a very strange experience. But yeah, a lot of Burt Bacharach stuff, like Burt Bacharach and Carol Sayer. She wrote a lot of that material.
One Less Bell to Answer was sung by Dionne Warwick and The Fifth Dimension.
Who did it better?
Who did it better? I think Dionne Warwick did it better in my mind. But then again, that's just because I just loved her voice. She just sang way. She just, and aside the fact when I was younger, I could impersonate her voice. But she was,
Steven's in the chat room asking how the ass cancer is.
He's got paper cuts now. There's not ass cancer. It turns out it's paper cuts from using 20-pound paper to wipe his ass.
I don't really check in with the ass cancer, say how you doing every morning. To be fair, I don't know if it's ass cancer. I think it's prostate cancer. It will. And maybe John.
Well, if you don't have prostate cancer now, if you live long enough, you will.
Yeah. Who was it who died recently that they had, but the prostate cancer metastasized to other stuff? I think that's probably
Joe Biden.
No, he's got it, but somebody just died like within the last week or something. Who was it? Somebody died. I'm not dementia.
The Reverend should have known that. If it was somebody of consequence.
Who was it? Somebody died recently. Who died recently?
A lot of people died recently.
65, 66 years old, though. They're the same age as me. Who was it? Boy, I'm fucking old. It wasn't Ozzy. Ozzy died of whatever he died of.
Dementia.
Yeah. But he died of Parkinson's something, right? No?
Yeah, Parkinson's. Let's see. Oh gosh!
God, who just died? It doesn't matter. Everybody's just died. We're all just dying. I think I have to turn up the AC. It's starting to get a little humid in here.
Okay, I can. Let's see here. It wasn't last. Well, that's not last week. Last week. Let's see who.
66,
any of them?
66, 65, 66. Same. Fuck.
Okay, Tom Lehrer, but he was 97.
Last week.
George he was from Golden Earring. He was 77. He died of ALS.
What do you have? Like a recent death log?
I'm going through the the Reverend's obituaries. 97. That was Cleo. That was last week. So I'm gonna go a week before.
Was it? Oh, yeah, I know who it was. It was Ryan Sandberg from the Cubs, the second baseman for the Cubs. Died at age 65. Exactly.
Okay, yeah, saw that, didn't cover it because I think that week had like 5 people, and like, who's gonna know that person?
He got prostate cancer, then got the treatment for it, and they said it was cancer-free in August. By December, it was back and killed him just a week and a half ago or so. So, always when they say you're cancer-free, get a second opinion on that. I don't know what different. I don't really want to know. I want this death to sneak up on me.
Steven, I want you to know I appreciate you, but you calling me gay is not the same as Jackie Martin calling me gay. So it doesn't mean the same.
Is Steven like an hour behind or something? I mean, he's just getting your I wish Jackie would call me a fan?
No, he's saying GD gets off on death because we were talking about the obituaries. And then he called me gay for getting off on death. And then he said, oops. So, but no, I don't get off on death. I get off on not dying.
Somebody, on that Marin on Bad Friends podcast, it was talking about how comedy has become. And Kill Tony was talking about how it's become all these people who do open mics, but they're like bros. They're like in good shape and good. And the counter to that was you don't watch Kill Tony because Kill Tony is like everybody on that show is disabled. Like he's given preference. And I don't watch Kill Tony. I don't know this stuff. But he was. I think the one thing that I think it was Andrew Santino said. Yeah, the favorite thing is to have a guy on in a wheelchair. And I was like, is Steven on that show? But this is an end. Like they are rigging the bucket call based on, because you can't just plan on having people with disabilities on and just be a part. That has to happen on a bucket poll. It would seem they're saying it's fixed because if they're saying almost everybody he wants to bring on that show, like this is an intent to highlight people with disabilities. I don't know. Why do you wish you were Jackie? First of all, if you were Jackie, you would be 76 years old. 77?
77.
77. And your best days would be long behind you. And you know what? People would
think that your career is so bad now that you have to go on Matt's show.
Jackie was never the kind of guy who people wouldn't have. People, Howard started that. Before Howard, he was not abused like that, but people just like glommed onto this "let's pick on Jackie" type of thing once Howard started abusing him and all that stuff. I like Jackie. I love Jackie, and I admire him in a lot of ways. But I would definitely never want to live his life. He's had a very interesting, somewhat difficult life.
Yesterday, I was in the pharmacy picking up some pills, and the lady waiting on me, I noticed her from like I was like fourth in line, and that there's something about her just seemed a little off to me, you know, and it was like her body posture, the way she carried herself, she just seemed overly sedate. Okay, and when I get there, I'll give her my name and my birth date, and I notice her arm has scar tissue on it from like 5 or 6 rows of scar tissue, like almost parallel cuts.
She's a cutter.
Or was. And maybe that's why she seems so out of it now. It's like she's on some kind of medication. But I immediately picked up on it. I was like, she seems like she's overly sedate. But when I saw that, it reminded me of when I used to work at Random House. And
you mean a company that rhymes with
the company that rhymes with Penguin, Random House.
Yeah.
And there's a guy, I was telling jokes around the where we were working, our workstation. And this one guy says to me, "I'd appreciate if you didn't tell jokes like that. My sister was a cutter. And I don't find those things funny." And I looked at his arm and I noticed that he had fresh cuts on his arm. And I said, "I don't think it's your sister you're concerned about." I said, "You're a cutter." I said, "And I'm just going to keep telling the jokes." I said, "You want me to stop telling these jokes about cutters? Stop cutting."
People are fucked up, man. That's one little addiction or obsession, whatever that is, that I never understood. Like, because people say, well, it's a cry for attention, but they're not showing it. They're trying to keep it hid in the same breath that they're doing it. I don't know. It's one of those things that psychologically I can't begin to wrap my head around how you one day you're just sitting there and you just say, you know what, give me a razor. I'm just gonna cut myself, and then that feels good somehow, and then you become addicted to it. And I'm not, believe me, if you're out there and you're one of these people, I'm not putting you down. I'm not judging you.
Right.
I'm trying to understand it. And I just, I can't. I can't figure it out. And I've talked to plenty of them. I know some of them intimately. I just
My
can't.
question is, with cutters out there, the cutters must not have been around back when junkies, when they're saying railroad tracks, they were talking about heroin users having railroad tracks. Those are not railroad tracks. Cutters make the railroad tracks. They have the little crosses like there,
Yeah.
or
John is being like, it's my fault that Dana Plato killed herself now. No, don't cut yourself. You don't have to listen. I don't have to understand. Let me just put it that way. And if you do cut yourself, I still won't understand it. So it's not going to help anything. D&D comedy makes me want to cut him. I don't think you're alone there. That I could understand. See, that I could totally. That's a. But if you talk about all the kind of things that people get attached to in psychology, I don't know if no wonder the aliens don't fucking come. They're like, what the hell, man? What is with this fucking species? They're all just whacked out in one way or another. Everybody is broken in some way. Some people like the pain for release. Well, that is, I think, 9 Inch Nails. The needle tears a hole. The old familiar sting, right? That's a part of that. Is I don't know if.
Damn it!
Needle addiction.
Good news and bad news. Good news. Jackie got back to me and he said there was one. I have it. Silly fun. That's what he wrote. The bad news, he didn't call me queer or gay, so I'm still an outsider.
He's slipping. I'll get and let me write to him. GD's hurt because you didn't call him a fag or queer or something. Yeah. So whoa, he sent me a weed pic. I got to get out to his house. I was going to take Surfer Phil out to Jackie's house, but he was being a little, how I say, on the rag about his availability. I don't know if you know this about Surfer Phil. I love Surfer Phil, but I kind of envy him in this way. He married a brain surgeon, somebody who's very well to do, and he's like a kept little woman now. He's the house. He's Mr. Mom. He is the guy who takes the kids to school and all that stuff, and he's paid to sit home in his lovely North Shore mansion there, and while his wife goes out and chops up brains every day. That's her thing. So, he doesn't have a lot of time to go, even though he's got a Jackie. He's a Jackie fanboy. And I thought taking him to Jackie's house would have been a nice thing. He was really awfully particular about when and how and all that stuff. And my time is limited. I can't do it in the mornings because I'm doing this stupid stuff, and I don't have to do the stuff. I can just go. But, it's got to be around the schedule. But Jackie sent me this picture of his weed garden. Has he sent you this?
No, because I'm not a fag. I'm not one of his friends. I'm not queer. I'm not an insider is what I'm saying.
Why did
he only sends it to the people he loves. I'm not one of those people he loves.
I think he sent me Adam Sandler's contact. Why would he say, like, Adam Sandler's not doing the show? Not ever. I mean, not that I wouldn't love to have him, but he wouldn't even give me the time. I don't think he'd let me say hello. He did. Get the fuck out of here.
See, he didn't send me Adam Sandler's contact.
Yeah. Let me just talk to the audience.
Okay. Yeah. Hello, audience. I don't like being put on the spot like that.
How are you today? You fishing today?
And this is why I don't do crowd work. Hey there, what do you do for a living? I hate crowd work.
Yeah. I was just trying to help you out. I was telling you, GD really needs you to call him a queer. I mean, we're here to support each other. Anyway. Yeah, so I'm going back into the rabbit hole of watching these podcasts with comedians on it. But Bobby Lee, at one point, because this is how I got on the Mark Maron thing. Bobby Lee had agreed to come on this program. I think Bobby would be an interesting guest to have on here. But that was like a year and a half ago, and I never followed up on it time zones and all that stuff. He's an LA guy. I think sometimes he might be a Hawaii guy because he was doing. I think he was shooting Hawaii 5-0 out in Hawaii.
Speaking of LA time or West Coast time, Leanne Linsky, I reached out to her and I said, Matt would like for you to be on the show because when you were here last time, he didn't get a chance to interview you. And so I sent her the link, and she says that you guys have a Wednesday evening outside the daytime, which is better. And I said, whatever's better for you. I said, whatever's best for you. If you do it in the daytime, you get Matt and me. And if you do it in the evening, you just get Matt, unless I'm stand up my Wednesday night trivia group, which we won first place again last night. 2 weeks in a row, we won first place.
Wow. Give me, if you can remember, can you remember anything that was like a bit of trivial knowledge that I wouldn't be hip on that you from last night? Something that
this is more a format of like Family Feud, where you have like the top 5 answers, and okay. If you live with a bodybuilder, what's one word you'd expect to hear them say a lot?
I got nothing.
And we're picking, they're taking their top 5 answers, blah. And I said gym. Matter of fact, I talked the group into saying gym, GYM. It's like, I'm going to the gym. I got to do the gym because no matter what they want to do, it's going to be at the gym. Even if they want to lift weights, they want to go to the gym to do it. That was only number 2.
Skank.
I think weights was number 1. No, diet was number 1. I've never heard. Skank did not make the top 5.
Well, here's what I think, and now I don't know this for a fact, but I think Planet Fitness. And Planet Fitness, please don't sue me over this. I think on Long Island, Planet Fitness has become a gay hookup gym.
Why would they sue you if that's what they are?
Because of me saying that could be defamation. I'm not giving them reasons. I don't. Why would they?
No, that's not defaming. That would be like saying Home Depot is where undocumented workers meet. It's not defaming if that's what happens. If Home Depot didn't want it to happen, they could stop it.
Could they?
Sure.
What? Just go out and chase them? Wednesday, I got up and chase people away from hanging out in front of the drugstore. That's a Tommy Chong bit, but that's what they'd have to do: hire people to chase away.
No, they don't. They hire one guy, put him in a. First of all, the people in ICE don't carry badges anymore. They just say.
I was going to say all you have to do is hire some guy and put him in a fake ICE.
Put him in camouflage and put a mask over his face with dark glasses.
Yeah.
And people go like ICE, because they don't carry ID. They just stop people. And this is the dangerous part. If somebody is unmarked, hiding their face, and they pull me over, before they get a chance to ask me anything, I'm stabbing them. Right in the throat.
Wow.
That's right.
That's a rage. Because I've been having dreams, not dreams, because I'm not asleep. And I remember, but my rage manifests in me visualizing stabbing people I hate right in the face, in the throat or in the face. I have this built up rage. I'm not going to name, you know who I'm talking about, politicians maybe, people and pundits who I just want to tell them, fuck you. And in my mind, I'm not shooting them. I'm I'm stabbing them in the face.
Yeah, personal. It's personal. Yeah.
It's just like, that's how full of rage I am at some of these people who just continue to bullshit over the top of bullshit. And like, you're totally disrespecting everybody. People say, like people like Trump, he thinks we're all stupid. No, he knows a good point. He knows the people he's talking to are that stupid. He's not thinking they're that stupid. He's knowing they're that stupid when he says some of those stuff. Like that, Ghislaine, according to ABC News, she has said that she never witnessed Donald Trump doing anything that was concerning. Concerning.
Right. Yeah,
to her because she's a fucking rapist and sex trafficker.
exactly.
So
Yeah,
her level of what is concerning is way different than, let's say, mine would be, or like
right.
yeah. Oh yeah, because he's raping the same 13-year-old that you raped 2 days ago. So
Yeah,
that's not really a
he's
concern.
only raping the people that I recruited.
Yeah,
It's not concerning. I
yeah,
recruited them for that purpose. I'd be concerned if he wasn't raping them, because then I'd say he's a narc. He's a spy.
yeah.
Those are the ones that I'm concerned about, the ones who don't rape, because I don't think they're on my side.
Yeah. So all these people who are just like spreading lies constantly, whether it's on
And
social
Reverend,
media.
don't steal that. Don't steal that. I have to tell the Reverend not to steal what I just said.
Oh, does he steal a lot of your material?
Sometimes he doesn't think I listen, or that he doesn't know I know he's listening.
Uh,
And I have been having similar bad dreams. They're not the exact same bad dream, but it's the same theme. Um, and in these dreams, my oldest brother, who's dead, is beating me up in the dreams, and I can't fight back. And the thing is, my brother, the last time he was able to beat me in a fight, I was 15 years old. So he hasn't been able to beat me in a fight for like 51 years. And as a matter of fact, it got to the point where he stopped picking on me because he knew he was going to lose the fight. Or if he wanted to fight with me, he would lay down conditions. He goes, okay, I'm going to take you outside and beat your ass. He says, but you can't use your karate. Well, if we're going to fight, I'm going to use the karate. And
I don't think it's something you could just turn off. If you're a martial artist and you practice martial arts, you can't think it consciously, or don't use what you learn.
Yeah.
It's not.
And so I used to frustrate him because sometimes I'd be able to hit him. He'd be trying to hit me, and I would reach out and I'd put one finger and I'd touch his cheek and said, I could have hit you, boy. And he go and I touch his other cheek with the other finger. I says, I could have hit you, boy. Come on, show me something. And so I got to the point where I was toying with my brother, and my brother was big and strong, but he and I've been fighting for so long that I learned all of his weaknesses, and I learned all of his moves.
Hold on a second. How many years between you?
He's 3 years old, 2 to 3 years older than me.
Yeah, it's a very different experience than my experience. My brother was 7 years older than me, so that's a big difference. When he's 14 and you're 7, there's no fucking competition there. You're getting your ass kicked.
Yeah, and it wouldn't be like maybe an equilibrium until maybe you're, let's say, 20 and he's 27, and then you've got the same type of body mass. And when I was 15, I didn't have I was 15. I did not have my brother's body mass. My brother's still like 60 pounds heavier than me and several inches taller than me. He was much bigger than me. But at that point, I'd already been hit with his best punches. He couldn't scare me anymore. Right. I knew what it was like to be hit by him. He did not know what it was like to be hit by me anymore because I'd gotten stronger. So the little kid punches that he used to take and wipe off, he couldn't do that anymore. He couldn't ignore the punches. And also, I was getting better at where I was aiming the punches.
Yeah.
Like I would hit him in the temple and not just the forehead. Big difference. Big fucking difference.
Yeah, yeah.
I hit him in the solar plexus and not on sternum. Big difference.
What Matt's about to go to an old folks home and play acoustic cover of "Gimme a Man After Midnight." I am. I don't even know that song, but I will do it just for you, in honor of you. I don't know what that means. Give me a man after midnight.
I just don't know why I keep having these dreams of my brother beating me up, and I can't defend myself.
Hellhound's on your trail, boy. Hellhound's on your trail. That's from Crossroads. That the devil's already bought your soul. Hellhound's on your trail. That's what it means. You're gonna see your brother again soon. You're gonna be in a fight club in hell.
Mm.
He's not an ABBA fan. Is that an ABBA fan? A song? Give me a man after midnight. I don't know.
Well, there were 2 guys in the group. I guess they sang it.
These guys are talking like, that was both of those. I thought that was Slaptail and Ian. It's all Ian. the evil one, as he's known. You know, I don't know if you know this about Ian, but his name wasn't. Oh, his mother just named him Evil. He adopted the Ian part. I don't know where he got that from.
Ian Drury in the Blockheads.
Yeah, she just named him Evil, and maybe he doesn't want me to give it this way about him, but its real handle on YouTube is the nicest guy. I'm not sure that fits. The nicest guy. I think I'm the nicest guy. Don't you think I'm the nicest guy? Coming back to Slaptail's point earlier, on Facebook, I get people you may know, almost all comedians. For some reason, the algorithm says Matt is looking for comedians. Blah blah blah. All these chicks with these women, I'm sorry, young ladies, with these profile pictures of them in front of a brick wall holding a microphone, and all of them are glamoring it up, like really trying to look beautiful, sexy, glamorous, all this kind of stuff. I don't know. And the dudes just all like clueless on like how to take a good shot or all that stuff. But all of them, brick wall, and some of them, like there's one that actually has governor's backdrop behind it. At least you know that's a real comedy club. A brick wall seems to me like a prop in a photo studio type of thing.
Although a lot of small clubs have the fake brick wall, I guess they don't have to spend money on. I know one place that's actually a restaurant, and they transform themselves into a club like twice a week, or three nights a week, and they have like a roll up brick wall. You know, it's a tarp that's designed and has the name of the place on the back.
Unbelievable. Like out of this scroll across of people who I may know, 90% of them are female comedians. So, and that's different, and that's definitely a change in the times, because like while comedy is still thought of as a male-dominated sport, women have come a long way, but now it seems like numbers-wise, more women are doing it than men, or at least that's what Facebook is showing me, more women doing it than men. 90% of these from people I may know who are comedians are women. I'm just, you know.
I just wanted to finish up the thought about the bad dream I was having, my brother beating me up.
Oh, you're still beating your brother up? Okay, go ahead.
No, he was beating me up, and in the dream last night. So this morning, probably around about 5:30. I was trying to fight back, and I couldn't fight back. And finally, in my brain, I went, hit him here, hit him right there in the throat. They'll stop him. And so I reached up and I punched. And I woke up and I punched my wife's pillow. Fortunately, she'd been up for about a half an hour. But I reached over and punched my wife's pillow where her head would have been. No, where the cat would have been. And that would have been in worse trouble, because I could apologize to my wife if I'd hit her and told her it was a bad dream. If I'd hit the cat, my wife would have divorced me, because that's cruelty to animals. She will not tolerate cruelty to animals.
Did Jackie just text you?
If he had, no, he hasn't.
I told him TD really needs you to call him a queer. He said he is a queer. No, he needs you directly. He doesn't need a middleman. This is what happens when.
So now I'm an in-law. I'm not family. I'm just family adjacent.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not calling people queer is not my thing. It doesn't work if I do it. It doesn't hit the same. It needs to be Joe Biden. Or Joe Biden wannabe calling you that where it feels like love instead of hate. Because if I do it, it just feels like hate, and it feels like homophobic hate.
I think Sunshine got Random House mixed up with Publishers Clearinghouse. She says, my mom filled out entry forms for Random House. She thought they might knock on our door. Did Random House have I know Publishers Clearinghouse did.
Yeah, because we were into music, we wouldn't pay attention to it. Wasn't like the same. It was like buy 4 books for $1 or something. It wasn't get 12 albums for a penny. But yeah, a lot of those publishing things in the magazines, they had that same book club type of thing.
Right.
My mom was, and I know when I was a teenager, the mailman did not like having to deliver boxes full of books. You know, that was a thing.
Yeah, I joined Publishers Clearinghouse for the same reason, because I thought that I would have a better chance of winning if I actually joined. Because they would say you can enter the contest, you don't have to join because it's illegal to make people join. But people still believed, and I was one of them, that you had a better chance if you did join.
That's supposed to be illegal.
Right.
Yeah. Speaking of deliveries, yesterday my wife got something delivered. I texted her. I said, I think you got an in-ground swimming pool delivered to the house. It's a box bigger than the fucking house.
Is this more bricks?
No, it is I wasn't wrong. It was well, it's not a swimming pool. It's a pond. It's one of these gigantic waterfall ponds. But it was they dropped this thing right by my front door. And now and they take all their hand trucks away. How am I supposed to move this thing? It weighs 1,000 pounds. It's gigantic. And how am I supposed to move it without breaking it or doing some damage to it? But she takes this has been like a 3-year project where she's trying to build this waterfall display type of thing. And just as I'm getting it to the place where she wants me to put it, and she's going to get prepared for this now. And again, this is a 3-year project in the waiting. I get a text from the water company. We have a dangerous situation. No using of outdoor water. None of this stuff. Drought situations and all that stuff. So she's finally getting all the equipment to finish this project, and it's going to be bone dry for forever. But these guys who deliver these massive things, their job is just to leave it by the front door, hope you don't fucking notice, and run away before you can say, hey, can you put it where I'm actually
They used to ring the doorbell so you know it was there.
Right. They don't even do that. They take a picture and they run away. And so then it's up to you to say, what the fuck is that out front? Oh, somebody left a big fucking box. It's taller than the house out in front of me. And now where am I going to put it? And how do I move it around and all that stuff? But so she's going to have a waterfall that's going to be bone dry. We have a water emergency here on 2 levels.
Wait a minute, but doesn't she have like gallons of water in the basement stored away for?
Drinking water. We don't
fish drink. Don't fish drink?
Yeah, but we could give that. They can have the nuclear power water.
Oh, okay.
Okay. But they can't even now. They can't. We can't even do that. So it's going to be dry for at least now we have 2.
When's your next rain?
Probably today. I think it might be raining today.
Can you like make more water run off into the pond and increase the water runoff so it fills it with rainwater?
At first, I have to take it out of the box.
Oh, in that case, yeah, you have to take it out of the box to do that.
I'm not allowed to. I'm allowed to move the box. I'm not allowed to. It's like the old. I think I faked incompetence to the point where incompetence became the reality, and now my wife doesn't let me do anything. She's like, I don't know.
That was my brother. That was my oldest brother. That was his thing. That's how he got out of doing stuff. Right. And my mother would always, and it would always fall on me. And my mother would say, "I said, Mom, why are you always sending me to the store?" My mother would say things like, "Because your brother's incompetent. He doesn't bring my change back. He gets the wrong thing." He gets the wrong thing because it's on purpose. My mother would give him a list and tell him how much things cost, and he would get things that are not on the list and not bring her change back.
Yeah.
Or not bring all of her change back. And instead of my mother doing something about it, she just says, I just won't send him to the store anymore.
Yeah.
And then it got to the point where, okay, he stopped fucking up his chores so bad. My mother says, well, fine. If you're going to fuck up your chores, I'll give him to Glenn. He can do your chores. Like, no, make him do it right.
So tomorrow, I don't know if you know this, I don't know if you know this about this program. We actually have two guests tomorrow. About time we had a guest, right? Elaine, not Alan, Elaine, not Elaine, Alain, the guy. Alain Salas, who has got a book about decoding the mind, breaking the cycle of limiting beliefs. I'm the guy he wants to talk about limiting beliefs. Definitely. I'm his target audience because I am Mr. Limiting Beliefs. And then in the second hour, Robert Gantz, who is a cinematographer, celebrated cinematographer, first time author, real life inspiration behind the plot and characters, the resurgence of noir fiction in today's cultural landscape, how Dead Wings reflects darker truths of Hollywood that still resonate in the industry today. All right, we got something to talk about. At least there will be a. Thank God you don't have to. Hey, GD hasn't talked about his mom all week. I mean, a little bit about the music stuff before. I cut myself every time GD talked about his mom. Well, you didn't get many cuts this week.
Sunshine wants to know if we catch our rain, but I catch parts of my rain because I have a makeshift pond for the deer and the birds and the raccoons, so they have fresh water. And if we don't have rain, if we don't have sufficient rain to keep it full, then I will take a 5-gallon bucket of water out and fill it.
Well, here's the thing about, because yes, I could let rainwater, if I took it out of the box, let rainwater accumulate in it, but then I will get a fine, and they are very vigilant about this now in this neighborhood. You can't have still water. If you're going to have any kind of pond like that, it has to be moving water because we have lots of mosquito-borne viruses. Right now, we have a West Nile outbreak in Long Island, West Nile virus, which is we're not.
Now, my question is, because if you had a pond with fish in it, wouldn't they eat the mosquito larvae?
I guess.
So you wouldn't be. That would be.
But even to have fish in it, the water has to be circulating somewhat, right?
Well, yeah, it has to be circulating. I mean, now I don't like. So I have a little thing, and I actually have, because I don't have electricity out that far from the house. I have solar powered pumps, solar powered water, which means at night the water is not circulating, except for whatever the animals do to it.
Yeah. So malaria. Hopefully, I don't get bit by many.
That sounds like a girl's name.
Yeah. Malaria Trump. But and West Nile, and there's a rabies outbreak on Long Island right now. Now that is a thing where I think you want water out there because water will scare them more, because rabies induces hydrophobia. They're afraid of water. So if you see a raccoon running away from the pond, you know he's got rabies. But that would keep them away from your house. That's a safeguard to keep still water out in front of your house to keep the rabies away. Kind of question
now,
for
Sunshine wants to know if I wear off. And the answer is I do not wear off because it doesn't work for me.
Never did.
It never worked for me. As a matter of fact, I was in Maine with my in-laws, and we were outside. It could have been a crab feast or a lobster. No, it wasn't crab. Lobster. It could have been like a lobster dinner or something. We were outside near fire, and I was the only person wearing off, and also the only black in the group. The mosquitoes ate my ass up. I mean, they just tore me to pieces. And I was wearing...
They're like me. They like the well-done meat.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've never worn any of those kind of pesticides off or any of that stuff. You're putting poison on your skin. Like, so what's the thing? You're going to get itchy? Oh, my, you could get West Nile or malaria or something from a mosquito bite. But you don't know what you're giving yourself, exposure to all these pesticides and chemicals on your skin. That's not a good thing.
But here's something, and this is just an observation now. Since I've been diagnosed as being diabetic, and I've been cutting down on the sugar stuff, and my blood glucose levels are a lot lower than they used to be, I don't get bit by mosquitoes like I used to.
That's because they all left Maryland and went to Long Island.
See, I was hoping it's because I had less sugar in my blood.
No.
Now you got me. Now it could be that they have gone.
Yeah.
There's no sprays. I'm not spraying. I don't use sprays to kill insects around my house. I'll take that back. If they're bees and they're like, or anything that burrows into my abode or make it unsafe for us to be out on deck, I get rid of them.
Let me address this to Mr. Slaptail, because earlier in the week we were talking about Lyme disease, right? And
right.
I don't want to, because I know I'm going to get this wrong. He said something about chronic Lyme disease not being
I don't think it's not recognized, right?
Yeah. Yesterday, not a human, the dog Autumn went to the vet and was diagnosed with chronic Lyme disease. I didn't think dogs could even get, because deers get bit by it all the time, and they have like infestations of deer ticks, but they don't seem like disease. But like, and what are the symptoms?
I guess the deer may have antibodies that whatever it is does not become Lyme disease.
Right. So I just assume dogs, because they don't necessarily get human diseases all the time. But no, I guess. But what is chronic, and how do you diagnose that in a dog? I mean, you don't ask the dog, well, like, what are your symptoms? You got fatigue. I mean, the dog had no symptoms other than it was licking one paw, and this is not related to the Lyme disease stuff at all. It had an issue with a cut paw, and it was just like licking it like a fucking slobbering pig. But how do you diagnose that in a dog? And I'm just thinking remember the Seinfeld episode where Kramer was going to a vet because they have to be able to diagnose stuff that doctors don't, they have to, in so many different species, like a dog, a cat, a chicken, a pig. Chronic means they are continuously infected or have the condition. Right, I know that's what I thought chronic meant, but how does a vet even diagnose that? How does chronic heart disease, chronic lung disease? I get it. I understand what chronic means, but how does a vet even diagnose that? I mean,
I know initially I was going to be a chronic forensic humorist, but certified seem to be more.
How do you even know what the dog's symptoms are to get to that point? Does a blood
maybe
test
it's a level of antibodies?
Maybe. I don't know. Like, what do you do? A blood test on a dog? I don't know. But apparently she has medicine to take, but they're saying it will take years for it to kind of completely go away or whatever. So she's going to be on this medication for a long time. The dog seems fine, though. I mean, there are some days where she just doesn't want to get out of bed, but I just assume that because she lives in this house, that's kind of what is it?
And that's what I was thinking. I was thinking the same thing, that the disease is gone, but that you're just recovering from the symptoms.
Yeah. But again, how do you know what the symptoms are? The dog doesn't say, I'm feeling fatigued. The dog just seemed normal. The only thing that the dog was displaying, the reason it went to the vet, was because it had this injured paw and was over licking it. Like, how do they even, like, what are the symptoms of dog? Because dogs aren't pussies like humans. They don't complain. They just go about their life.
That's true. If you kick a dog, the dog will come back and say, I still love you. Kick me again.
Yeah. All right. He's educating me on the different degrees of acute, chronic, and all that kind of stuff. But
I don't know if you're acute. I would say you're more chronic than acute, but okay.
Yeah.
Subcute. I think you're subcute.
I am. I'm cute adjacent.
Now, Snaptail says, I'm not a vet, bro. Can't answer that question. So, you are a vet. You served in the paratroopers plane jumping division of the Army.
Huh. What is this? Jasmine Crockett and Trump have been going back and forth with "you're a dick." No, you are. Your mother. Fuck you, skank. That kind of stuff all week. Now she's praising John Cornyn. Jasmine Crockett is, and says he's not actually MAGA. He's just trying to fool Trump supporters because he's losing to Ken Paxton in Texas.
Right.
So she's. I don't know. It's a weird thing for her.
She's just trying to stir up some shit
to get the Republicans infighting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. So I'm so fucking tired of these politicians, man. All of them. Just give them a fucking gas can and a book of matches and say, "Go ahead, have at it, have at it." Anyway, tomorrow we'll be talking to I'm looking forward to the cinematography thing, but also that limiting beliefs, getting rid of the limiting beliefs. My limiting beliefs are that I'm too old to make a fucking difference in anything I do at this point. I'm just riding out the wave, waiting to reach the shore. That's basically what it sounds all defeated. No, poor me. No, it's part of life. The downhill.
Sunshine says you're better than cute.
Better than cute?
So now we know she's legally blind.
Or she's not. We don't know. Maybe she's not a she, because I am very appealing to gay guys. I don't know if I've told you about this before, but gay guys consider me catnip. Like, oh, look, he's so. Why am I appealing to gay men?
Because you have that mustache.
You're according to Jackie, you would know.
No, Jackie didn't tell me that, though. I think he just told you that so that you would feel better about what you did.
You see, I don't have a Planet Fitness membership. You know why I say that? Because I look in Craigslist, they have the gig section. Now, Craigslist used to be like a sex hookup thing like years ago, right? But they stopped that. But if you look in the gig section or the musician section, every once in a while you get one of these things. And there's a lot of ads for people. Meet me at home at Planet Fitness in the locker room or something. I'm like, what the fuck is going on over there? That's not the kind of fitness you don't want to be lifting cock. You want to be lifting weights, and who's got time for that anymore?
If it's as long as it's heavy, doesn't matter what kind of weight it is. I mean, it doesn't
have to
matter.
be an awfully heavy cock to get any benefit out of it, right?
Well, the cock itself may not be that heavy, but what it's attached to could. So if you're like lifting, let's say the person is 400 pounds, and you're picking up by his cock, that's 400 pounds. Doesn't matter, 400 pounds is 400 pounds.
I don't know. Something caught my throat there for a second.
No, I wouldn't recommend doing like a bench press like this, because then it's like like this. So yeah, don't do that.
Yeah. Who's the first guy to ever do these kind of it's a squat thrust. It's a weird fucking exercise to do. And that's not with weight. The squat thrust, where you squat, you shoot your legs back, you pull your legs back in, and you stand up. Whoever invented it. Do you remember they used to have these fitness tests?
Was it Jack LaLanne, maybe?
Yeah, maybe it could have been Jack LaLanne. I don't know if they do this anymore. I think they were talking about restarting it in schools, where every year you'd have to pass a basic fitness test in school, in gym, to pass the class known as physical education.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know if they do that, but that was part of it. Squat thrust, you had to at least be able to do one pull-up. I wonder if most of America could actually do a pull-up at this point. Obese people must have a real issue with that. It's not a fair exercise when you think about it like that. If you're 99 pounds, a 98-pound weakling, you probably do a pull-up better than a guy who's 250 pounds of muscle. I'm just thinking. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't think. It's probably a good idea to stop thinking, right?
I would think that would be, yeah. But I have let's see if I can do this right, because you're talking about the gym thing, the old gym. Yeah, the old
gymnasium. I know them.
Yeah, there was a thing we used to do in gym, and let's see if I can do this. Here we go. Where? No. Here we go.
Terrible music.
Oh, go to grandma's in town, spend some time with Ken. And this time when Uncle Tim shows up at the door, let's not let him come in. No, please do not let him come in.
I just wanted to because the music. I had the music. I used that music in that parody.
Where'd you get the horns from? You didn't play those horns, did you? Those horns?
I did what now?
The horns or wind
instruments. No, that's a karaoke thing. I just grabbed the music. What's it called? Go you chicken fat go. That's it. Go you chicken fat go.
I never heard it before.
Y'all didn't play that in gym?
I'm on culture. No, not me. Not my
Wow.
team.
That was the workout song we did in gym. They put that record on.
I don't remember ever playing music. We one of my gym teachers.
Let's all jumping jacks or something 10 times.
Can't think of Coach
Ed Coffin. Ed Coffin. Push-ups 10 times.
Ed Coffin. My coach Ed Coffin was a fullback at Syracuse University. He was a roommate of Jim Brown, and that was his big. But he was a badass and a really bad temperament. In today's world, he would be the ultimate curmudgeon, like just a guy who could not get out of the World War II mentality of men are men. Blah, blah, blah. That was one guy we had as a gym coach. And there was the other one, Mr. DiPietro, whose favorite line was, "What are you, fucking retarded scumbag?" And we thought that was the coolest thing because Mr. D was not afraid to call you a retarded scumbag. And that was inappropriate language, but nobody fucking said anything to him about it. But music was not part of gym. It was just not part of that.
Okay, their song was called Chicken Fat by Robert Preston. And it would go like, this is, the first verse is, touchdown every morning 10 times, not just now and then. Give that chicken fat back to the chicken. Don't be chicken again. No, don't be chicken again. The next is push-ups and touch your toes, hit the dirt.
Now I'm becoming more and more convinced that you and Ian are the same person, and you're just talking to yourself, supporting yourself. Because he doesn't say. He says, "Yes, I remember that GD also had a cassette with play dance music. We would measure it doing sprints across the gym." See, I think he's trying to support you, which means he is you. That's what it means.
Are you kidding? Have you seen my career? I don't even support me. That doesn't make sense.
Well, this is the thing. I think you and him are like Janet Jackson and Michael or one of them.
Well, if he's Janet, I'm more like LaToya or Debbie. The Rebe.
He refuses to come on camera and prove that he's not you. And why refuse? Why be so stubborn? Come on, be on the show, even just for a second. Show your face and say, "Look, I'm not GD," and then run away like Sir Michael or Sir Robin and chicken out. Yeah, I don't know. What are we doing today? You got what's with gigs? You got gigs coming? I haven't heard you talking about gigs in a while. Don't you have? What's your next thing in Michigan or something? You're going to see Slaptail? Is that what you're doing?
I don't know because Slaptail hasn't said if and when I'm coming to Michigan, or if it's me, or if it's the Reverend. The Cleveland thing fell apart. They asked me for a tape. I sent them a tape, and next thing you know, one of their guys is doing my material on fucking YouTube Shorts.
Whoa.
Yeah. So I'm like, what the fuck is this all about?
You know what would be interesting? If you send me that link to find the guy doing your material, I will pass it on to Blind Mike and say, and not tell him that he's doing your material. Just say, "What do you think of this guy?" And if Blind Mike says, "Oh, I like his material." Oh, you do? That's interesting. That would be a good setup. Now he's not listening. I know Blind Mike doesn't listen to the show, so we could.
No, but some of his people might.
So don't go back and rat us out on this. Just be cool about it. All right.
No, I actually don't. I don't know when my next show that I'm not producing is. I don't have anything scheduled. And when I looked at August, when I turned the calendar over and I saw August was empty, I felt depressed for a second. I went, "Fuck, nothing in August. Fuck." I was kind of just for a moment. Like, so I'm working on another show right now. That's the one that I've most of the bits I've written and have performed in other places, but since it's a 90-minute set, I haven't done it anywhere, so I'm putting them all together as a 90-minute show. And so some of it I'm actually running by Dylan Brody as go along, but there's some stuff like he says, "That's not funny," and I was like, "It is funny, you just don't see it." And so for the sake of argument, I take it out. But when I do the show, I know I'm going to put it back in because it's the way I talk. It's natural for me to say something like that.
You know? You notice you're running it by Dylan Brody and not by Blind Mike. I think you should run all your material by Blind Mike. Let him tell you what's funny.
Blind Mike, I don't appreciate the fact that they called me a liar over there. I don't like that. I don't take kindly to that at all.
I don't think he called you a liar. I think he said you were two-faced. That's what he said.
Well, two-faced and liar, to me, okay, I'm not going to be my mother. Fine. I don't appreciate that either.
Well, it is a miscommunication of his own doing because he did not let you finish his thought. But he set himself up for thinking you were two-faced you started by saying you were laughing so hard, and then he thought, well, this guy is appreciating what I do. Now he's buttering me up. He didn't let you finish the thought, so he went away with that. And then the next thing he heard you say was, "They're so stupid." I was laughing at because it was so stupid. And then he got the idea that you were saying two different things. He just never let you say the thing. I think that's worth having at least a clarification statement.
I understand, but one of the things that they're not good for over there, as a general thumb, is the clarification. It's grabbing the thing that they see right before them and running with it. And quite often, even if something contradicts it, they will acknowledge it, but not adjust.
Yeah.
So it's like if I said to you, "Well, Matt, you said that airplanes are stupid and that they should all crash into brick walls," or something like that. And we play the tape, and the tape, actually, you don't say that the airplanes are stupid, but that the pilots are stupid, or something like that. And I'll go, and I come back and acknowledge it, but then I still say that you said the airplanes are stupid.
Yeah. Airplanes are very smart. Some of the smartest people I know are airplanes.
So that's so that's kind of like how I feel about over there. Now, again, I don't have any animosity over it. No animosity whatsoever.
Yeah.
And,
no, I'm not trying to build a bridge between
I do not like false accusations against me. I don't like it at all.
Well, again, and I'm not trying to build bridges between you, and I'm not encouraging you to be his friend. I think I don't think he's in his mind. He is mischaracterizing you being two-faced but that's of his own doing. But he hasn't. Nobody's explained that to him yet, and maybe it wouldn't make a difference even so. But I think he's still of the mindset that's the reality that he saw.
Now, my invitation to him to be on Done Way Past Funny is still open to him, but he had already told me that he would not be available to do it until the fall. So there's no point in me. Well, I guess I could ask him again because I was going to do it last night. And then I saw his last comment was, "I'm really busy now. I have to check out in the fall." And I looked at the calendar. I said, "Well, this is August. It's still summer. I'll reach out later in the month when it's closer to September and see if things have changed." But so he's still invited to be on Done Way Past Funny.
Well, here's the last, and again, this maybe I should stop fucking beating this drum. But the last thing he said to me is that I'll consider having him on my show if he has some issues he wants to air out. But it doesn't do much for me. I already gave him a chance to say anything he wanted to me. So yeah, that bridge is not going to get built, and I don't care. Jimmy crack corn. It's no big deal. But you mentioned the fall. The fall's coming, man. Today, I don't know if people realize this.
Halloween stuff is out. So that's the first
No,
indication.
the
That's the
Halloween
first
stuff's been out
indication
for a
that
while.
fall is coming. But the
Halloween stuff's
Halloween
been out for
candy
a
came
while.
out in July.
Today is the sunset goes from the other side of 8 o'clock to this side of it. It's 7:59. The sunset today. Days are getting shorter by 2 minutes a day, but it actually dips before 8 o'clock. So today's kind of the day where you start to feel. You might not notice it consciously, but I think this is the day where if you are a person who starts to get a little melancholy around the change of seasons, this is where it starts to creep in.
Yeah, that's my wife. My wife gets she gets the seasonal depressions.
Yeah.
And
Me
which I
too.
really do not like. I'm not looking forward this time, bro, because right now she's overworking. She's working too many hours at work. Because they have staff reductions and she's picking up the slack because she's a muckety muck and she has to do muckety muck work.
Yeah. Are we overtime?
A little bit. It's 11:45.
How the fuck did that happen? Just keep talking. Just keep talking. And before you know it, there's like a day's flying by here. I do have shit to do, but I got to go get depressed about the day ending a little short, being a little.
Yeah, I got yard work to do.
On my yard? Thank
Oh,
you.
no, mine.
You're gonna move that big box for me? Because that big box.
I would. I have 2 hand carts and nothing to move.
I wish I had a hand. This is the problem. I got to get a hand cart. I have a wheelbarrow, but this box is way, way too big for a wheelbarrow.
Oh yeah, I have 2 hand trucks and a yard cart. And then in the yard cart, you can drop the sides down, so there's like a flat surface. You can lay something on it and carry something big, and it has 4 wheels. I also have the wheelbarrow.
I got to get one of these Ring cameras or whatever, just so I can capture these guys dropping off a package. Because I want to see them running away, going, I get a compilation reel of them dropping My wife, since COVID, has become addicted to having shit delivered. Every day we get stuff. This was never a thing before COVID, where you just get packages every fucking day in the mail. Not even in the mail. FedEx, UPS, the mail people, or whatever. All of it. It's just too much. Stop. The Amazon Prime people bringing trucks. Every day there's packages out there.
Yeah, to be honest, before COVID, I very seldom did actually know the names of the people who delivered packages to my house.
Yeah.
Now I know them all on a first name basis. It's like, what's up, Ray? Hey, what's up, GD?
Really? Because I get some, I mean, literally in the middle of the night. Like they'll come like at 12 o'clock at night. The Amazon Prime guys. I wonder if they're on an hourly thing, or they get paid by the day or whatever, or just get paid by the package they deliver. Because sometimes they just come like at the weirdest hours. Like, why are we having a delivery at midnight? What the fuck is that all about?
Well, I was driving down the street yesterday, and the FedEx driver wasn't in his truck, and I saw him walking, and I said, Ray. He goes, what's up, GD? It's like, so we know. I know him when he's not delivering packages. That's how well I know the FedEx guy who delivers to my house. It's like, we don't even, and a lot of people out of context, I can say, I know that person. You know, somebody you've worked with, but you see them away from work, you just don't know why you know them.
Yeah.
Like last night, the trivia thing. This woman taps me on the shoulder, and she goes, "Hi," and my wife goes, "Why did she tap you on the shoulder? Are you cheating on me?" And I look, and first of all, the woman was like probably 7 years older than me. So if I'm going to cheat, I'm going to cheat younger, not older. And I looked at my wife and I said, "That's the lady from the store, from the deli." And my wife goes, "Oh, that's the deli lady." And I go, yes. And my wife goes, oh. I see, and I recognized her, but I couldn't remember if her name was Nan or the other name that I can't remember. But
it's not. That her name is the Deli Lady.
Is it Beth?
She doesn't. That's her name. Message request. What is this one about? I don't want to look at that. So your wife is going to be looking on Instagram maps to geolocate you and make sure you're not at the deli. That's
Jesse Sunshine earned her presidential patch for passing exercise tests in PE class in California.
What we don't want to age. We're just assuming Sunshine is a woman, right? You keep saying her. Did we get clarification on that?
I thought we established that like 19 shows ago.
Oh, whatever. It could be. Could I don't know how. But,
and let's put it this way: I keep saying she, and she hasn't corrected me.
That's right. That's fair. All right, we'll wrap this up. Let's go because I gotta go pee. My prostate is calling.
And I have chicken to reheat from last night.
Oh well, don't say that around my wife. She's become sort of an anti-chicken eater.
Oh, okay. I have some wings from last night.
Yeah,
and onion. I have wings and rings. I have wings and rings from last night.
Right. All right. Get out. I'm gonna go turn on my radio. I gotta pee. See you tomorrow.
listen to me now. Listen to me, listen to me, listen to me now. Listen to me, listen to me, listen to me now. Listen to me, listen to me, listen to me.